All right, we've done it. We've reached the end of the MCU as we know it, and I feel fine. So, welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the last standing Samoan, Big Rig, Nick Utam.
I can't believe it was Earth the whole time, and he didn't know it. He didn't realize it. You know, there are all these monkeys around him, and he just didn't realize it.
I think you saw a different movie.
Yeah, and finally,
no, it's called Endgame. I don't know what you saw. Okay,
I saw Endgame, and I didn't. Wait, was there monkeys? It happened on Earth, though. I don't know. I'm just as confused as you are right now, sir.
So, it's happened. It's over for a lot of us. There's people out there who feel like this is the perfect ending to the MCU. There are people out there who feel like this is the next chapter in the MCU. And no matter who you are, fuck it, I don't know what to say. We're just going to start talking about this movie now. If you're worried about spoilers, don't worry. In the beginning, we're going to give a general review. We're going to talk about the movie without giving anything away. And then we're going to go... into the spoiler territory when Dion shows up. Dion made a mistake and bought tickets for the wrong time, so that is why he's late. So if you're wondering where Dion is, no, he's not dead. No, he's not crying his eyes out about Batman.
He might be.
He might be. He is a bitch.
He is the most emotional and sensitive of the group.
So let's start talking about Avengers Endgame, which picks up a few days after Avengers Infinity War. I almost said a few days after Star Wars. I'm just like, wow, that's the wrong movie.
It picks up like right at the end of Infinity War.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. It just starts. There's no real intro into it. It just starts.
Yeah, you get your Marvel Studios intro after like 5 minutes because we are introduced to our old pal Clint.
Yeah. So I'll just get this out of the way early so those who are watching want to know. I like this movie a lot, but I still prefer Infinity War.
Same. I'm in the same boat with you, paddle in the same direction.
What about you, Nick?
I thought this was better. It was a nice ending to it. I'm real happy with it. It didn't feel like 3 hours to me at all. I'm extremely satisfied with the ending of it. I just had a good time, man. It was real good. Good.
I had a fantastic time, but for me, this isn't really a spoiler, so don't worry, folks. Thanos felt more intimidating in the last one, not because he won, but because he was a character. In this movie, there are some things that happen that make Thanos and a couple other Guardians of the Galaxy characters feel very disconnected, and then the end just sort of just rolls up on you. I'm not saying it wasn't cool, but the ending's just, or not the ending, but the final battle is, let down is the wrong word. It was a good final battle. It was epic. We got to see something they've been teasing for about 4 years.
Wasn't Wakanda.
It wasn't Wakanda, but people...
It wasn't the Battle of Wakanda. I mean, it was great, but it wasn't the Battle of Wakanda great.
Well, I will say this early. I think the best Avengers battle still comes from the first movie. There's just something about that.
Battle of New York, yeah.
Well, it's because it's fresh, it's new, it's like a shiny new car. You got it, and you may have other great moments in that car, but the first time you take it out, it's the one that always sticks with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, if we're going to give Avengers ranking in terms of these, I'd say this is my third favorite Avengers flick. Again, I'm not disappointed at all, folks. Believe me, I'm not trying to set you up for like, oh, it was a bad movie. No, it was very good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. There were some moments that I can't wait to get to when we get a little deeper into the review, because it had some of the best moments in any comic book movie. Probably since like when Spider-Man stopped that train and they held him up. He's like, the Christ figure. Awesome. Yeah, that
was beautiful.
Yeah, this movie had some of those beautiful moments. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Kendo, what are you giving this movie?
I gave it a 9 because I gave Infinity War 9.5.
Nick,
10 all the way through, man. I just loved all of it. I loved all of it. Great ending to 11 years of these movies and all the stuff going on. I'm happy it's over, and they went out with one hell of a bang. It was really good.
And then I'm going to give it, excuse my shitty neighborhood, I'm going to give it an 8. It was a great movie. There are just some things I didn't like, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. So I'm going to read these super chats. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things I didn't like about the movie and had nothing to do with the movie, it's a PSA for all you people out there. If you're going to see a movie that's a part 2 of a big movie, part 2, and you're taking somebody with you hasn't seen part 1, nor most of the preceding movies, don't take that person, because I don't want to sit there and listen to you explain to them every 5 minutes what's happening.
Yes.
because that is annoying as shit. You know, if you haven't, I mean, I'll give you, you don't have to see every MCU movie to understand this movie. You know, Iron Man 2, 3, stuff like that. You can miss those. But he was having to explain everything to this person that he was with. Everything. And it was like, dude, fuck off. Come back tomorrow. You're wrecking the picture for me.
Yeah, that's some bullshit, man. Yeah, God, I think my theater, like, we had a baby who was like kind of freaking out, and the mother like eventually took them out. I was like, just take them out when they, you know, start going crazy.
You don't bring a child to the Avengers unless they're of age.
Well, and they were all all in the front. It was loud, and the speakers are there. It's just like, don't do that. Don't do that,
lady. Don't be a shitty parent. Wait till Monday.
That's right. Take them on Sunday afternoon when, you know, most of the straights are there.
Well, here, let me read these few super chats, and then we're going to go into the review. So if anyone that was just waiting to have their super chats read, it's fair to you guys, and you don't have to have it spoiled, and then we're ready to talk. So if it sounds like I'm hemming and hawing about the movie, I really am, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But Cesario Japan says, Lucasfilm desperation move number 667. Rey was the love child of Princess Vespa and Lone Star from Spaceballs the movie. That makes her a Druish princess.
Yes, it does.
It would also make her interesting.
Funny, she doesn't look Jewish.
DJ Deadbeat says, good to be here, Jeff. Listening to you guys talk about stuff never gets old. Let's hope they let the MCU end with some creative integrity. They do.
If I was gonna say, if the MCU is, if they come out tomorrow and say we're done, we're just gonna do standalone pictures, they did a good job, and it's went out with a high note.
Yeah, I really wish they would never make another Marvel movie again, because everything else just was tacked the fuck on. There's only one question left, and we'll talk about that in the spoiler section, because it's a big question.
Right.
Mr. Millennium says, I was in the first grade when Iron Man came out, and I was so excited. I went after school to see it. So Endgame is pretty important and emotional for me. God, you make me feel old.
I was 25 when
I was 19.
Wow.
I was in first grade. I was 25 when
that was 08. Oh, jeez, that's crazy.
Thanks, Mr. Millennium.
You son of a bitch. More like Mr. Millennial.
No, it's funny. All week I've been thinking about the first Iron Man movie, and this is such a nice way to cap it off. And it wasn't like I was trying to watch that one for the symbolic nature of it, but there's something in this movie that happens that ties it directly to Iron Man 1, and you're just like, boom, and then it'll hit you, and you just go, wow. Broom Boy says, this is Rogue Leader copy, made channel Broom Boy. I remember Broom Boy. We had him on one of our Star Wars streams last year.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like rainy and shitty here, and the windows are open.
Yeah, it was funny because as the movie was going on in our theater, like the rain just came down for 30 minutes and then left, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for that. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's been pissing down rain here for 2 days. I think I need to start building a boat.
And you need 2 of everybody on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get 2. No, not 2 of everybody. 2 of every animals. I mean,
wait, hold on. Is Kendo secretly Moses? What happened?
It'd be Noah.
I do have the. Yeah, it'd be Noah. Thank you very much, Nick. And I do have the beard.
You know, I never read the book, so I don't know.
Well,
you godless sodomite heathen.
You never saw Evan Almighty?
No, I had better things to do that day.
I cast thee out.
Good luck with that.
You cast him to the fan cast?
Oh, no, see, Jeff, that's harsh. I wouldn't never say that.
Oh, wait a minute, man. No. Samuel Aragon says Dion's late because his ride home is a horse. Yep.
Sure.
With that one.
Yeah,
cool.
Fair. Hold on. I forgot to read one from Grant. It says, Jeff, did you watch the Charisma on Command video about Amelia Clark? It's an excellent contrast to Brie Larson. She does the opposite of things. I'm going to watch it. I took a screenshot. I got put out a video today, and then I had to deal with some stuff before Avengers. So also had to go to the other end of town to see this movie because tickets in my local theater sold out because the website went down. So Grant, I will check it out. Orange Hat Review says, my score of this movie, objectively without bias, 4.5 out of 5. Subjectively with bias, 3.5 out of 5.
Jeez.
Russo's betrayed us.
I wouldn't go that far. The only real dings I would give on that movie is just 1, it's too long, and 2, there's just like 1 or 2 things. Well, I mean, we'll get to it because I'll point out the parts that I'm.
I enjoyed it being long. Honestly, I didn't get a drink or anything. I sat there and watched it. I had a good time. It was wonderful.
if Nick is enjoying an MCU movie, you know it's a good movie because Nick
Yeah, that's true. It's
Nick has been checked
Yeah.
out on the MCU for I don't know what a
Ever.
decade at this point.
well, yeah, for the past like 2 years, probably.
never
I'm just
got
like,
on.
oh god. I was on with Iron Man, then Thor came and he was boring as shit.
So
And
yeah,
I was
you were on for the
okay.
cheer.
I was okay with Captain America, and I really did like Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp a lot. So
Oh, sorry, I was
Yeah.
eating something. I didn't want to eat into the mic. Obi-Wan 27883 says, "Wait, recap of the non-spoilers opinions just here. Nick gave it a 10, Kendo gave it a 9, I gave it an 8. We all like it, but we can't get into the spoiler territory until we read these, and then we'll start." Michaela Ton says, "Is Mahler coming?" No, not on this. No, Mahler.
He might be. We're not with him right now. We don't know what he's doing.
That's a little private. No, Mahler and I are working on another time to get together. But we'll announce that one plenty of time in advance, and I'll get Robot Head on with us, and it'll be a big thing. Heroic Avenger 96, you might be my spirit animal on this one. The movie felt very much like Return of the Jedi. Great conclusion, but sloppy writing. Didn't like how messy time travel was used.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wasn't a fan of either. Was the time? I get the time travel element, but they just kind of just threw it on the wall and said, "We're just going to go ahead and invent our own fucking way that time travel works."
They did say that
was very true. Well, they name all the
They also mentioned Hot Tub Time Machine, which did get.
They did. As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, Ken is gonna mark out."
There was a slight mark out moment for me. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, but they mentioned a lot of them, and I was just like, "Okay, I see what you're doing here."
Well, it's good to know that those movies exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, just like that really old movie, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Or Aliens.
It was Aliens.
He said those in both, 2 different movies.
Oh, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back was referenced in Civil War, and this Aliens one was from Infinity War.
Infinity War. Footloose was also mentioned, but that was by Quill.
I miss him. That's another reason why I don't like this movie as much. Without the Guardians there's just not that... Well, hold on. Okay. You know what? It's official.
We got to get into it because there's no way to talk about this movie without getting into it because I can't wait to talk about when.
And the super chats keep rolling on in. So, you know, folks, if this is the end of the stream for you, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting the channel as you do. And welcome to we have like 1,000 new subscribers in the last 2 days. Excuse me. So welcome to the channel if you're new. But it is now time to get into the specifics of this film, to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, etc. So be warned, this is where the actual review starts for Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, so
where do you guys want to start?
Let's just start from the beginning, go blow by blow. Because, I mean, it starts off with a real swift kick in the balls. I mean,
a very swift kick in the balls.
And give us a quick summary of the swift kick in the balls.
Hey guys, look, it's Hawkeye. Oh, he's with his family. He's got his ankle monitor on. What a great thing. He's teaching. Oh God, they're all gone.
Yep, that was it. That's pretty much it.
I thought that memo was incredible.
It was like it set you up. It set you up for the whole thing. I was just like, oh shit.
I mean, the snap was supposed to be like 50-50, indiscriminate. He got out of the 5 of them in that scene. He was the only one. So his family had terrible luck. Kids gone. Wife gone.
Dog gone.
Shut up. I did love the part when he time travels and he goes to see his kids. He's like, whatever his daughter's name is. And she goes, "Yeah, Dad." And then he disappears. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There were some moments. So anyway, this movie starts right when the other one ends. And we, like you said, Kendo, we see Hawkeye's family get snapped out of existence. Then it goes to, does it go right to Avengers Mansion or headquarters, right? Is Cap shaving? Or no. Yeah, Cap shaving, and then it goes to space with Tony Stark on the ship.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like the iconic part of the trailer where Stark's talking into the helmet, recording a message for Pep. That's that scene right there, and him and Nebula try to fix everything, and then cue Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, give me a second. Sorry.
I will say this about the Captain Marvel things. As much as we were worried about it, I don't think her inclusion in this movie was that bad.
It wasn't.
It could have been worse.
Well, folks, if you've heard about any of the Reddit leaks, I think all those Reddit leaks turned out to be true. Hulk getting his arm destroyed, all this crazy shit, less Captain Marvel. That chick was written out of the movie in the first few minutes. She barely speaks, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But she gets the kind of haircut that a woman who wears comfortable shoes would wear. I mean, that woman, if you thought she couldn't look any dumber, put it like this. Her design in Endgame will make you pine for the old days of Captain Marvel from last month. That's how bad she looks in this movie.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
That's true. That's true.
She first shows up, she looks like she did at the end of when she left in Captain Marvel, and then when she comes back later in the movie, she looks like the LGBT 3000.
Not quite the 6, but that's what Marvel can get right now. No, but honestly, you just think about Iron Man's about to die. He's come to terms with his death, and he's sitting in the chair, and he and Nebula are just waiting to die. And all of a sudden, a bright light appears, and it's Captain Marvel. And guess what? She smiles, and then she basically pushes the ship back to Earth with the rest of the Avengers.
She Supermans it like he did that building in Justice League.
Yeah, or that plane from Superman Returns.
Well, he yeah. And it was weird, but I'm glad we got Tony Stark back. That was my main worry. He's like, how's he get back to Earth? Okay, that's how.
Well, one thing, and this is my complaint with a lot of this movie, is a lot of things just kind of get resolved real quick. Like they have set up big things, and then they're just like, oh, it's resolved real easily, and there's like no resistance to it. So while I still love this movie and I thought it was great, my favorite part was the beginning. And I hate to say it, Captain Marvel's involved with my favorite part of the movie, but she's just standing there when they're all arguing at the table after they lost. Because, like we said, folks, was this 20 days later? Tony Stark.
It's 23 days.
Yeah, and they're sitting around the table, and Stark, man, the effects on him look great. They got him all gaunt, and he looks like he's in a wheelchair. They got him hooked up to an IV.
He looks like the Machinist.
Yeah,
the Machinist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He looks like he's been starving to death for the better part of 3 weeks in space.
Well, in space, nobody can hear you eat chips.
They can hear you, digesting your own body because you're starving to death.
That's true.
So they all fight, and then Stark leaves, and then it goes to a time jump of 5 years later. No, sorry.
No, they come up with a plan to go get Thanos,
and they go and they kill Thanos right away.
Yeah. real quick.
Thor cuts his fucking arm off. Then they ask him where the Infinity Stones are. It turns out that Thanos had snapped them out of existence, and then Thor decapitates him.
Yeah, he and then he walks out saying he aimed for the head, and it's kind of ironic. Thanos went through all that trouble to totally denude the universe of half of its living population, only to turn around 3 weeks later on his poppy farm be cut down.
I think this movie works best as you should watch this directly after Infinity War.
Oh, you have to.
So the way they're set up, I mean, you can watch Avengers and then you can watch Age of Ultron over any amount of time, anytime. It doesn't really matter. But if you're going to sit down and do these, you got to do a double feature. It's like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. While they do work as independent films, Halloween 2 really, you need to watch the first one to get the whole scope of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So just order yourself a pie, a pizza pie, or another. You get two. Get the dessert one for afterwards. Pour yourself up a cooler full of beer and sit in for 6 hours because you're gonna have to do that if you want to really enjoy the movies.
Yeah, because that sounds like an awesome time.
It would be an awesome time. We'll do it eventually.
It would be a great time. Which you know what, we're gonna go ahead and bookmark that for Horror Hound Weekend.
No, we're not gonna be able to watch them both because the other one won't be out on Blu-ray yet.
Shit.
Well,
my point is we'll splice together our own personal cut of both movies.
Let's make our own cut.
The bullshit cut.
The bullshit cut. There you go.
Bullshit cut. 12 hours of bonus footage.
So so we go back to this movie though. They kill Thanos, and then it goes to 5 years later. Correct?
Yep. Yeah, and it's showing like that. There's like nobody around. The city's New York City is like abandoned for the most part.
Yeah, and
because I mean it's weird because like cut in half. I think people that live in New York are like 20 million, so it's cut down to 10 million. So traffic's better. There's less cars on the road.
A smog.
If you survived, you're probably gonna get that job that you were promised or a promotion.
Yeah, you're gonna get better seats to the Mets game.
There you go.
There in Citi Field.
Yeah.
Did you know who that guy talking was?
Yeah. It was one of the Russo brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off. No one got it around me. It was really weird. The crowd I was with just didn't respond to this movie. They cried in certain parts, but that's about it.
Yeah, the crowd I had was relatively subdued, minus the one jack off that kept having to explain the entire movie to the person he brought. That was also the same person that when we get to it was very, very, very heavily breathing and sobbing. And then there was a few, sort of mark out whoop moments that we'll get to where even I was just like, oh shit, that's awesome.
I had one that I didn't realize I would have, and I went, "Oh my god!" So
it's probably the same one I had.
Yeah, it's probably the same one we all had.
It's probably not. It's probably not.
All right.
Because when it happened, I went, "Wow, I really like this one specific part, and I don't normally like this guy." So I was kind of taken aback by my own reaction to that one. But it's gonna to try to explain every part of this movie. It's really fucking long, The gist is they're going to get the Infinity Stones by time traveling.
Yeah, they devise a plan that they're going to go through time and they're going to get the stones before Thanos gets them.
And that's where my first problem lies. It was just too easy for them.
True. Yeah, they were able to create the idea of time travel relatively easily. They were able to negotiate time traveling relatively easily, and they were able to rip off the Infinity Stones relatively easily.
I thought the best part of the time travel was when they went back to New York, because they do something that I love in all. It's like Back to the Future Part 2. This movie has a very Back to the Future Part 2 vibe. Because remember how they go to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance?
Yes.
And you see it from the other angle with the other Marty watching the other Marty? In this movie, you see Iron Man and Ant-Man sneaking around Stark Tower at the end of the first Avengers movie where we see Loki saying, "Oh, about that drink," or whatever. They're reenacting all the scenes. You get to see the moments after the big battle in New York. You get to watch them ride the elevator down. You get to see the SHIELD agents that are actually Hydra agents. There's all kinds of things. Dude, when he was in the elevator, they almost...
Oh, shit.
Dude, that part was awesome.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead and tell the people what that part was.
So, after the Battle of New York, Captain America is going to get Loki's staff. That's his part of the mission. So, he goes into the elevator with Brock Rumlow and what's his name, Jasper Sitwell, and all the other agents from Winter Soldier are back. And they're in this elevator riding down Stark's tower. And the guy's getting the gun, and he goes, "So-and-so told me to get this." And he goes over to Jasper Sitwell, and he whispers in his ear, "Hail Hydra." And they give him the staff, and then he gets off the elevator, and they just believe it. It was so cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, God, I fucking love this movie. I always kind of liked Cap beforehand and had an appreciation for him. This movie made me really, really, really appreciate.
Yeah,
Cap.
I liked him. I liked him way more in this movie than I have before. So I was like,
This was his movie.
Damn it, Cap, you were awesome.
It was totally his movie. Him and Iron Man. I mean, mostly Cap, but Iron Man got to shine again. I mean, they are two primary Avengers.
The part where he goes, "You got to be shitting me," and he runs into his other self.
Yes.
So Captain America had a mouth on him in this movie.
Yeah,
he did.
He was going to leave with the staff, and he runs into Captain America circa 6 years ago, and he goes, "You got to be shitting me." They proceed to beat the hell out of each other, and then he ends up knocking him out by poking him with the staff, and comments on how that is America's ass as he's walking away.
Yeah, there were some. Yeah, there were some great moments. Oh my god,
there were. Dude, it was well. Also, you haven't mentioned Hulk yet.
Oh, dude, yes, Hulk. You mean Dr. Bruce Hulkster Banner?
Dude, Nick?
As soon as I saw him and he was talking, I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" I laughed my ass off. It was wonderful.
Tell the folks about it.
Well, basically, imagine Mark Ruffalo, but he has green skin and he talks and he's about as big as the Hulk is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, and it's he takes a selfie with a kid, and oh my god, it's the whole scene in the diner is just hilarious. It was so much fun, so much fun.
I love that part when Ant-Man's like, "You guys want to take a phone with me or a picture with me?" And they're just like, "No." And Banner's like, "No, take a picture with. Take a picture." And he's got the phone, and he's like trying to get. He's like, "Look, the kid's even saying no." And eventually, he just goes,
"Goddamn phone."
Just take the goddamn phone.
To say Ant-Man, I thought that one of the best parts of the movie was when Scott got out of the quantum zone or quantum realm, and he gets back to San Francisco, and he goes to the memorial of all the people that disappeared in the area. and he sees his own name.
Mhm.
And then he goes and he finds out his kid never died. So I thought that was a really cool moment. There
Yeah,
were a lot of
yeah. I was worried for a second. I was like, oh, don't do that to Scott. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
Like, don't fuck Scott over like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. He finally finds Lang on the vanished memorial, which, by the way, they slapped that memorial together real quick.
Well, I mean, half the population's gone.
And it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Which means half the workforce that could carve stone is gone.
Hypothetically.
So it took, what you're saying is it took double the time.
It should have, because you got to figure, look, how many stone cutters are out there these days that know how to operate those machines? What, maybe a dozen in the San Francisco area? What are the chances that the majority of them would survive? I mean, hell, there's a chance that, because we saw with Clint's family, fuck, most of them could have been gone. You could have been down to 2 stone cutters at this point.
Yeah, and they're working on a backlog, you know. They have before the snap.
You realize how many people lived in that Bay Area that they would have to carve names into stones to put into that monument park? A lot.
It is funny how Tony Pepper survived.
She did.
And they started their own family. So in this movie, Iron Man has a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, they Scott Lang, a.k.a. Ant-Man, Captain America, and Black Widow go to Iron Man and tell him they need help. And he basically shoots them down because he's got this new life. He's got, Pepper's okay, Rhodey survived. Basically, Iron Man's little circle survived and everything's good. And they enlist the Hulk to try to help him with this time travel.
Oh god,
and,
that's a funny part too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So instead of time traveling with Scott Lang, they make time travel through him. So he first goes in, then he becomes a teenager, then he becomes an old man, then he becomes a baby, then he becomes himself. And somebody pissed his pants.
Yeah. Might have been the baby me. It might have been the old me. Actually, it might have just been me.
One thing I will say, there's a lot of humor in this movie, but
and it all worked.
It worked. They knew how to tone it down.
They knew. Well, no, they needed the humor because it was already started kind of on a downer, and it's like you got to have the humor, and it all works, all plays, and it was all funny as shit. Dude.
Speaking of humor, we completely forgot about Thor.
Oh, we're not there.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, Thor is fat as shit in this movie, and he turns into Bray Wyatt at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's got a big old beard, long hair, and he is fat as fuck, and he's just sitting there pounding brews all the time and hanging out with fucking what's their name? God damn it.
Corrigan. The stone guy from Thor Ragnarok.
Corrigan Meep. Sitting around playing video games in New Asgard.
Yeah, they play PlayStation 4 Fortnite.
They're playing Fortnite, yeah.
I love how he talks shit to that kid on the headset.
Oh, it was wonderful.
That was funny. He's so like, Thor, that dickhead's back in the game again.
Yeah, they were a little. They used the stronger language in this one, which worked. You needed to.
Well, I mean, like I think it was one of those things where it's like they could probably do whatever they wanted. It's like the last movie, and it's gonna it's gonna be awesome. Like, we can pass a few more by. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah. It is rated PG-13. They could have had one F-bomb, which I really, really wish they would have used, because there was a couple times where an F-bomb would have been perfect. And I'll get to the part where I think it should be when we get to that part.
It should have been from Rocket Raccoon.
That actually
true.
Would have been,
That's true.
It would have been fitting.
So, in terms of the plot, they go back to New York. They get the Infinity Stones. But here's the biggest open-ended question: Loki escapes.
Yes. Yeah. So Hulk goes and talks to the bald chick. I cannot remember her name from Doctor Strange, and he has to get the time stone from her. He eventually convinces her to do so. Cap and Iron Man and Ant-Man are charged with getting the Tesseract, and they secure it. And in the process of Tony trying to walk off with it in a briefcase, he gets hammered by the other Hulk coming, or 2012's Hulk coming down the stairs, because they made him take the stairs. And the briefcase gets blasted out of his hand. Loki standing there in shackles.
But I do love that like Ant-Man had to give him cardiac arrest.
He had to put him in the cardiac arrest to have it happen.
Like, just disconnect it. Just end me. Come on, do it. It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, Iron Man has Ant-Man give himself a heart attack from 6 years previous. It works. And but then Loki picks up the Tesseract and just see a boom tube out of here.
Yeah, and I honestly thought Loki was going to pop up in the end.
I thought so too, but you know what they might do? This might be an open-ended way for them to, like, either A, bring him back down the line, or B, there's supposed to be that Loki TV show that they're wanting to make. So maybe that's where they're going to take off with it. Loki escapes. with the Tesseract? What's he doing?
Yeah, Loki is okay, folks. If you were worried about his death in Infinity War, they found a way out of it in this one. And the way time travel works in this movie is really bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit bizarre.
Yeah. I almost don't like it.
Yeah.
Because they make a point to say everything from these movies is bullshit and our version is the right version. But their version, it avoids the whole contradictory element and, the space-time continuum and a race from existence, all the fun shit. So
they play very fast and loose with the rules of time travel. Essentially, all right, so the simplest way to explain how their time travel works. So in Back to the Future, if you go back to the past and you do something stupid, it fucks up the future because it's like the timeline you're on. Or, you go and you bet on sports and the timeline skews into a different direction because now you've got Biff's Pleasure Pals, which, God damn it, I want one of those. But in this movie, there's just one timeline, and if you go back and do shit in the previous timeline, it doesn't affect the main timeline.
Because the new timeline, when you travel back to the past, that is your future now.
Yeah, it was weird. Like the past you travel to is your future, and the present you were in is your past. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Essentially, you could go back in the past. You could shoot yourself, and you won't die because that was your destiny. It was for your future self to come back and kill you at some point. No paradox, no weird shit, no fading away at the fish under the sea dance.
Enchantment under the sea dance.
Yeah, dude, it's enchantment under the sea dance. Get your shit together.
Yeah, well, maybe you should got the joke.
I got the joke. I was going to make it earlier.
Thank you. Good.
That's why I finished the line.
You should know better.
Anyway, so they go back in the
motherfucker. Don't ever question me on Back to the Future.
I wasn't questioning you. I was questioning.
Yeah, how dare you question Jeff on Back to the Future? What the fuck's wrong with you?
You shut up. It was directed at you.
Whatever. Now you covered it up, asshole.
No, the only thing I'm covering up is the conspiracy that we were all involved in. Anyway, so continuing on. So I don't remember, where'd they get the Mind Stone at?
That's the yellow one that's in the Vision's head, right? That's Loki's staff.
Oh shit, that's right. All right, yeah, my bad. So they got those three. So then,
no, they didn't. Loki got away with the Tesseract. So,
oh yeah,
they had Cap and Iron Man had to go back to 1970.
That's right.
And I thought this part was very cool, but I thought this part was very rushed. This is where I was really invested and excited in the beginning of this movie. And then as it went on, I still liked it and nothing happened that made me hate it. But there were just some moments where I went, oh, come on. Like this just, it felt necessary, but it just didn't fit. It really killed the flow of the movie. The movie has, to me, bad flow. Ending's cool.
At times, yeah.
I thought the 1970 part had bad flow because they sneak onto a military base, and somehow Iron Man has like different clothes. Remember, he went back in the tracksuit with the nano armor. Then when he gets to 2012, he steals a SWAT team costume, which is fine. But then he also goes back and he steals a suit, or has a suit when he appears in the 70s. And he also has those techno glasses that he had in Infinity War back, which we didn't see him with in... Did he have those in downtown New York in 2012?
No, I don't believe so.
So those glasses just kind of appear out of nowhere. So they do play fast and loose with this movie.
I think it's one of those things. Assume that his glasses are always kind of, with him, and they're always advanced.
Maybe his nanotech suit has like more than one option. It's like,
that's true.
I'm wearing the armor. Now I'm wearing, smart casual. Now I'm going for a run.
Yeah.
Windbreaker by Iron Man.
Yeah. It's like he just pushes a different spot on his, chest piece, and it just pops out different gear.
No, dude, he's using an eye watch, man. Come on, get with it.
Yeah, maybe it's active camouflage like in Halo.
Oh, there you go.
It's just whatever you want it to reflect and be.
Well, we forgot to tell the listeners that the Avengers all break off into specific teams.
Right.
So Cap, Iron Man, the Hulk,
and
Ant-Man all go to New York in 2012 for the first battle of the Avengers. Black Widow and Hawkeye go to, was it Vormir?
They go to Vormir for the Soul Stone.
Yep.
Rhodey and Nebula go off to
Morag to get the Power Stone.
Yeah, and then Rocket and Thor go off to Asgard to get the Ether.
Reality Stone. Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pretty cool scene with Rocket and Thor, because Thor gets to meet his mom, but it's the date she dies. And so he wants to tell her, but she's like, I can't, you're here for your future, not mine. Mine's already written or whatever. So it's kind of a nice moment that he got to have like a one more day with her type of thing. but it was bittersweet because he couldn't save her. And then Natalie Portman's in this movie for like a hot second.
Yeah,
Sure
that's
is.
true.
And then she gets probed by Rabbit, who then proceeds to like scurry as fast as he can away from the Asgardian mob.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that part.
I thought it was kind of, like I said, I thought it was kind of easy for these people too, because when they transport back, they just press a button on their hand and the suits instantly appear on them and then they disappear.
Right.
Which I kind of would have liked if they would have had to get to like a spawn point or something that would have made it more intense, because they just get their mission done and then they press a button and they're home.
Well, I mean, that's why Stark had the time GPS thing, so that you know where you are and it'll take you back. It'll bring you back to the same place all at the same time.
That's where Doc Brown messed up. He didn't have one of those.
Well, he didn't have Tony Stark.
He just had a DeLorean and a Mr. Fusion.
He didn't have a Mr. Fusion. He had a flux capacitor. Mr. Fusion.
Mr. Fusion was part 2.
Whatever. Nitpick. So we go to Vormir, where we got to get the Soul Stone.
Get your shit together, Kendo. What the fuck?
I'm just playing fast and loose. It's the theme of the night.
Yeah, Avengers did it.
When it comes to time travel, we're playing fast and loose. So we got to Vormir. And
continue.
So we go to Vormir and we get to Clint and Black Widow have to go get the Soul Stone, and they meet Red Skull, who tells them all about it, and then they realize that one of them has to die to get the Soul Stone, and they sit there and debate on who it should be, and then they both decide who it should be, but they both pick themselves, and then they essentially fight to sacrifice themselves for the Soul Stone.
Yeah, it was,
and Black Widow wins.
Yeah, it was kind of emotional. I was like, oh man, she's so pretty. Oh,
yeah.
But
so,
yeah, I mean, I kind of saw it. I kind of saw it going that way, anyways.
Yeah. I looked at her lips the whole time as she was about to fall off that mountain. I was like, "You are so pretty." Oh.
Yeah, you're such a beautiful, beautiful lady, but you're gonna die now, and give us the Soul Stone because we need it.
Yeah, I thought Hawkeye gave a pretty good performance in this movie overall. Jeremy Renner.
Oh, dude, brought it. He brought it.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, he actually is surprising how much he elevates like Endgame and Age of Ultron. Every other Avengers movie is a Hawkeye movie. I mean, he didn't even appear in the last one, but
True.
It worked out that way better.
Yeah. So
because if he would have appeared in Infinity War, it would have felt like the ending of this movie, where everyone in the fucking kitchen sink shows up for the final battle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to save somebody for later. There's Doyne.
What's up, Dion?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
Good.
We're just we're in the spoiler portion of the movie.
Yeah, dude, we're talking about spoilers now. What did you think of it? What do you score the movie?
Headphones fucking the right way here.
All right.
This is only the 170th episode of the podcast.
Oh man.
Anyway, where were we? Oh
so
yeah,
they've recovered
Johansson
5.
Dead.
Yes. So ScarJo's goner.
And then all we got to do is have Rhodey and Nebula get the the Power Stone?
Power Stone.
Yeah, Power Stone.
I still don't get the colors and all that shit. I just call them the Infinity Stones from each.
film. The naming thing was kind of silly.
It's the gems.
Yeah, I would say I remember when they're called the Infinity Gems.
Yeah,
the video game.
Gem.
No, but they get those, and then here's the only plot twist of this movie, because every other thing that happens in this movie is very just they make it happen easily. Is when Nebula gets switched out with other Nebula from 2014.
Yep.
And she basically goes back with them and helps Thanos find them. So they get back with all the Infinity Stones.
You left out the part where they got to watch Quill dance into the cave at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy.
She sucker punches him, yeah.
He really is a dork or whatever.
Wow, he's an idiot.
I did love that part so much. He just gets sucker punched. I'm like, oh, that's funny. You deserve that so much.
He did, and it was pretty funny. Dion, what would you say what was the score you give this movie?
I gave it a solid 9. I really did give it a solid 9. With like, I don't know if it's just Marvel now, but there's always like one or two things where you're just like, really, guys, god damn it, but through all of that, I gave it a 100% a solid 9. I really did. I've had a great time. It was fantastic, and it was a good way to end it out.
Yeah, I gave it an 8. Kendo gave it a 9, and Nick gave it a 10.
Ooh,
so
shit!
Yeah.
That means our average
it.
is a 9. That's our average rating for this movie is a 9 out of 10.
So, Well, you know what? We've explained the plot. Basically, folks, the way the movie ends, and it's much like Return of the Jedi, like who said that? Heroic Avenger said. They get to a point, and then everything just kind of happens real quick to tie it up nicely. And it does tie it up nicely to some degree. So the final battle, Thanos finds Avengers headquarters in 2019 in New York, and he blows it to shit.
Oh my god!
And they replicated a cool scene from the Secret Wars comic book where the Hulk holds up like so many tons of rock and shit to save everybody.
Yeah.
And basically Thanos comes down and they fight. And it starts out with Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man fighting against Thanos. And you finally learn that Iron Man is worthy to yield Mjolnir.
No, Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America. Sorry, my bad. I'm thinking whatever. I'm thinking, yeah. No,
That was my
Captain
mark.
America.
That was my mark out moment.
Yeah, me too.
I honestly said out loud, I knew it because remember they talked
I
about
did too. My whole theater started. So when he dropped Mjolnir, I was like, get it, Cap, get it, Cap. And then when he fucking grabbed it, our whole theater just started fucking cheering. It was fantastic.
It was so much fun.
It was so crazy because dude, Thanos chips away at the shield.
At the shield,
Yeah.
I was like, what? No. And then
that was
still
fucking
never-
crazy.
So I was convinced Captain America was going to die this entire battle.
Segue from that, I just want to say for the world to hear, God damn it, I hate when I'm right.
It's very rare. So you know.
And for those, don't worry, I'm gonna keep loading. So going off of that, I just want to say also for those from the High Council listening, I expect an invitation, and I expect in writing font. I'll leave it up to you guys.
It's not going to happen, so you don't even have to continue the joke.
Dion, you were right.
You're not coming
Captain
back.
Marvel was the hero of bad timing, and yet again, you've proven your wisdom. You were right.
You're not a member of the High Council. Sorry,
it's true.
It's a three-man booth.
True. Yeah, 3-man booth. And goddamn, I love every single one of you. But I was right. I am inevitable. That'll be my tagline next time I'm on the show. I'll begin.
Yeah, but you know what?
I am cut your head off.
Yeah, we'll cut your arm and your head off.
But still, you'll remember he is the motherfucker you had to go back in time to stop from being.
Would you
right.
rather be right or alive?
At this point in Genture, I love being right.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Jeremy, you're welcome for those hits you're gonna get, buddy.
I don't even think anybody knows what you're talking about.
Anyway, so
you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're trying to talk about Avengers and how the final battle just kind of happened real quick.
Yeah,
right,
so they got all the stones. They made a gauntlet of their own.
The Hulk tried to use it. He couldn't because he wasn't strong enough.
There's some fighting and fighting. Cap gets Mjolnir. There's assholes and elbows just banging away at each other.
Yeah, I did love the little callback to Cap from Winter Soldier where Falcon's like on your left. I'm like, God damn it, why?
That was awesome. Did you guys talk about how Cap said it? How he said it. He said it. Right when
Avengers Assemble? Yeah, we already said that part.
Yeah. You already said that part. Just making sure you guys aren't rookies. I mean, good job.
Remember, this is our 170th episode.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Just making sure.
This is not our first goat fuck.
No. Just making sure, man. Make sure you guys didn't honey dick anybody. I'm coming off the bench here.
Look at now we can get into the part we can finally start to talk about the pros and the cons of this movie because we gave you a long summary because it's a long fucking movie. A lot of shit happened, but I also feel like a lot of stuff that happened didn't really have much of an impact, at least emotionally. A lot of things happened in this movie. A lot of events didn't happen, if that makes sense. Like in the last one, in Infinity War, everything built up to the end. This one, a lot of things just felt inconsequential. I think they sold you, part of the hype was the 3-hour time run, running time, which it works. It's not slow. It's not boring.
No, God.
There are just moments where you're just like, that doesn't have to be in the movie, but it's fine that it is. And then it closes so quickly. That's what pisses me off. The final battle kind of sucks. It really isn't that impactful.
I won't say it sucks. It's definitely quick. I mean, I think you have the Avengers assemble. You have Captain Bad Timing showing up. Whatever.
Yeah, well, we didn't even mention her because she's written out of most of this movie.
Yes,
I think they knew.
Yes,
because seriously, folks, there's a line where she goes, "I gotta go," and she is gone. It's like she's in the first 5 minutes, and then they write her out, and she's not even fucking mentioned.
Yeah, she shows up. She shows up one more time after.
Yeah,
after
and
the
she
5 years
fights
later.
Thanos one-on-one and almost
Yeah.
beats
And he
him up and all this shit.
beats her ass.
No. Hold on. Let's not sugarcoat it here. Listen, everyone was super excited. She's the most powerful. They made sure to say that, in the build up to this movie. And she shows up again. Captain Bad Timing shows up at the last fucking possible moment. Whatever you want to write it out, that's fine, guys. I'll give you that. Russo brothers. But the best part, she goes to save him. She almost gets the gauntlet off, and he fucking detaches the Power Stone and fucking headbutts her so hard she's gone until the end of the fucking movie.
Does she talk ever again?
No.
He headbutts her so hard she loses the power.
He launched.
I
Yeah, I was
think
gonna
he
say
headbutts her out of the movie.
He did.
Yeah,
He fucking
pretty
launched her into orbit.
You see her at the very end, standing there. That's fucking it. He headbutts her ass so hard she goes through brick, through the fourth wall, through the script, through her agreement, through the shit she was talking otherwise, and then the bitch didn't say anything after that. I was like, "Thank you."
She's still
Thank
sitting
you.
somewhere right now. She was headbutt so hard by
Oh,
that
God.
Power Stone that she's sitting there somewhere right now telling somebody to answer that goddamn phone.
Yeah, she's like the white critics fucked me over. That's what happened. It wasn't Thanos. It was the white critics that fucked me over in this.
He doesn't need their opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that purple opinion for the headbutt back to the Stone Age, biatch.
God,
Yeah.
she wasn't at like the Stark funeral thing, was she?
Yeah, she
She
was.
was.
She was the last one before you saw Nick Fury.
By the way, we
Okay.
skipped over that part.
We weren't there yet. We were just talking about how
Well,
the
no, I
battle.
just wanted to
God
ask you,
damn
make
it,
sure.
Nick.
Yeah,
You
man.
I'm just
spoiling
making sure.
bastard.
God damn it.
Look, I'll say this for me: the battle, like Thanos brought his army, and then all of a sudden the Avengers had an army, and it was just like, oh, and then it just really ended quickly. Like for as cool as the fight scene on Titan was in Infinity War, and as grandiose as it felt on Wakanda, this one kind of put them both together, but it became kind of muddled, and you missed a lot.
I think it was like half the time too, because like that whole final battle between Wakanda and Titan and all that stuff, that was like an hour of the movie, I would say, or close to it. It felt like
It wasn't that long, but it felt like a battle, even though fans knew what was going on. I mean, when Captain and them show up and they're talking about taking the time stone out of Vision or whatever, and then you see the spires going down, they jump back and forth, and it really isn't that long, but they got the timing right in Infinity War, which I think was very important, especially for that story. Like Jeff said, building to the end. With Endgame, you knew there was going to be the giant battle. Now, granted, I don't think a lot of people didn't know. Like, you knew, like, hey, eventually they're gonna, once they got the snap, it's like only a matter of time before the rest of the Avengers show up, which I got. But they did a great job of introducing the Avengers army. But again, you didn't see that same. There wasn't that thrilling feeling of, hey, they may lose. By the time that happened, you knew that the momentum was in their favor. This is a lesser Thanos, and they definitely muddled through. Like, outside of seeing Spider-Man trying to hold on to the Iron Man gauntlet, that was really the only tense moment of that whole battle, which kind of was underwhelming.
Thank you. Underwhelming is how I felt. It visually was stunning.
It looked great, but
Doctor Strange is relegated to holding up a waterfall.
Yeah.
And there's all of the Asgardian warriors come back. All the Wakandan warriors just so happen to be there. It's just like in the first Avengers, they're kicking ass against the Chitauri. Then they come together with the Hulk, and it starts to get better. And then they start getting beat down, and it gets serious again, and then they win by the seat of their pants. Again, same thing with Age of Ultron. They're winning, they're losing, then they come back. But those battles felt longer. It felt like they earned the victory. This one, it just felt so inevitable that they were going to win. And even when Doctor Strange looks at Tony and he's like, that one outcome, and he just gives him that nod and he raises his finger or whatever, it's just like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, well, that part was cool. But again, like you said, there were no stakes. There's no chance. Like, once he showed the one, you knew as the viewer, okay, they're going to win here, which I get. That's the issue with sequels. I understand that. But like, you could have, I would have preferred them, drawing that battle out a little bit and then kind of pulling back on some of the emotional shit that they were showing in the beginning or the first 3/4 of the movie.
It did give us, to me, the only cringe moment of the movie when
yes, I know what you're gonna say. Yep,
they're laterally, hook and ladder playing the fucking gauntlet down the field, and Captain Marvel gets it, and they're like, we need to help her, and all it's girl power to the rescue. She's got help.
That was so heavy fucking handed.
Like
holy
right,
shit,
okay,
that was heavy handed, man. like all of them are sitting there, and then to have Pepper land.
Fuck her.
That was I was like, she hasn't done anything since Iron Man 3, and even so, like to have her be, the fucking Iron Man, I was just like, come on, guy. I was like, that was so, like, don't get me wrong, like, I a part of me, I got like it was an epic like visual for a second with all of them sitting there about to fight, but then when you realize it's the women Avengers that they were mentioning in the fucking press releases and all the press junkets, I was like, God, that was heavy handed. But
don't you remember in in Infinity War when the women are fighting on Wakanda and it never felt heavy-handed because you had Scarlett Johansson whooping ass, you had Scarlet Witch kicking ass, and then you had the chick from The Walking Dead, and they were all fighting. Was it Proxima Midnight? And they threw up the thing. That was cool. This was fucking heavy-handed. And
it was
really,
so heavy-handed,
really
dude. It was so cringy too because it's they're all in a line. And it's like, so they're all landing in a line, whereas as in Infinity War, they're in the middle of a fucking
over
fight.
and all of them and everything.
Yeah,
they're in the middle of a fight. So when you're in the middle of a fight, anyone that's been in a fight, fucking shit is happening. So when someone comes to help you, especially in great movies that show that, it feels by the hair of the teeth. The way they did it in fucking Endgame was like, boom, boom, boom. We're all standing next to each other, and we're a wall, and we're gonna kick you. And it's like, God, I visually was just like, God damn.
And then Mantis was there too, and she just starts like moving.
I'm like, what she didn't even do? She's gonna make him fall asleep. Why is Mantis standing here?
See, Mantis felt worthwhile on Titan and Infinity War. She definitely, her part was awesome. He is angry, he mourns, and all this other shit. And you're like, they're getting the gauntlet off. Quill loses his shit. Spider-Man almost had it. It builds tension in moments. This is fan service, the final chapter. If you guys wanted certain things, you got certain things. You got Cap with Mjolnir. You got Iron Man's final sacrifice. Thor, he sucked. Like,
I got because I liked Fat Thor. We just kept
so did I.
Fat Thor.
Yeah,
and it was
awesome.
And it was a great character development, especially what I loved about Endgame was them showing the weight of what happened in Infinity War, which
was Thor.
Right, well, yeah, all the beers, but
a lot of beer pizza with Bork.
Well, it was weird because the way they showed Thor, like in that little town, whatever, like that. I was like, are they trying to make fun of Aquaman? Like, what's going on here?
That was a weird parallel, wasn't it? It was just like, they're all fishermen and they all got fucking jackets on. They all wearing sweaters. I was like, we get it. They're Norse guys. You don't have to fucking coal shove it in our face, be like, hey, these guys are from the north and they're all white, they like to fish. I'm like, okay, goddamn, can I cool it with that shit? But it was cool to see him dealing with that. But again, like him being like fat the whole movie, I was like, yeah, you didn't have to do that shit to him. I get it's 5 years. Like you already said 5. You don't have to show us 5 years of pizza and fucking Norse chicks. We got it.
It's beer, Fortnite, and a lot of Uber Eats.
Well, my problem wasn't necessarily the fat part. I just meant the final battle as well. I didn't think Thor was that cool in the final battle.
Well, that was them showing the wear and tear of him being fat, which I got.
But I hated his design. He had the fucking braided beard and all that shit. It just
he
looked like Bray
hair,
Wyatt. Yeah,
it was dumb. That part was really dumb. And like the visual of seeing Fat Thor with the red cape really pissed me off. I was like, God, he's supposed to be imposing. Yeah, man, he looks like fucking. He's gonna sell me fucking fish out of his trunk. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, who sells fish out of their trunk?
I did like the part where where him and Cap were standing there and they had the Cap had the axe and Thor had the hammer and he was like, nope, you take the little one.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was awesome.
I thought that was cool that they got Mjolnir back.
Yeah,
I was happy
when he just like steals it, he just calls it. I was like, damn, that was kind of cold blooded there, Thor. To better looking Thor.
He jacked his own hammer.
So is he going to be able to defeat the Dark Elves?
No, they go back and they put the stones back at the moment they took them, so he technically doesn't lose it. But
and they'll stick the hammer back as well. So
yeah, because he did leave with the hammer.
Now I thought that was the coolest part of the movie is when Cap goes back. Okay, so hold on. So let's get this.
We still got to get to the crescendo.
So finally, Thanos goes to get the gauntlet, and he snaps his fingers, and the stones are gone. And they're on Iron Man's, and he goes and you look at Iron Man's gauntlet, and it starts to like morph a little bit, and he goes, something, something, something. I am Iron Man, and then snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
And
'cause,
that's the last thing he ever said.
Yeah, because Thanos said, "I am inevitable," like he did in the projection that he saw before of what he said before he got his head chopped off. And Tony's just like, That's where they should have used the F-bomb. I'm fucking Iron Man. Pow. They get one. Should have used it right there.
Were you guys surprised that Iron Man died in this? Because I was.
No,
I wasn't, but
No, I wasn't.
I was still, seeing as I was right, but no, it did still hit me in the feels. Like I was like, God damn, that was good.
I wanted Iron Man to die in Infinity War. When he got stabbed by Thanos, I actually went, yes, because I was so fed up with this bullshit. But in this movie, I was just like, oh, no. But it works.
Makes sense now why he turned Strange hands over the time stone, says that's the only way we, trading the live.
Yep.
It's
It
the
goes
only
back
way.
to the first Avengers too about laying down the wire. I would just cut the wire, that line and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it also goes back to the first Iron Man when Rhodey's talking to him in the car, like, you don't know about, if you're my buddy and I lay down my life for you. That's what the first thing popped in my mind was, it's going back to, him eventually learning that shit when he becomes Iron Man, and now he's Iron Man, and all the chips are on the table, and then bam,
Dude, how crazy would it be is if in this movie, when Iron Man snaps his finger and all the bad guys disappear, Rhodey disappears and becomes Terrence Howard again?
That would have been cheeky as fuck, and I would have loved it.
It would have been hilarious.
I would have absolutely loved that too. So Iron Man dies. They have a funeral.
Thanos gets dusted.
Well, no, and like no, they have a funeral. Like the thing they float on the water is like the thing that you see in the first movie.
Yep.
Proof that Iron Man. This is proof that Iron Man.
Tony Stark has a heart. Yeah.
Tony Stark has a heart. And I was like, God damn it!
I smiled at that part.
I started morphing up, and the whole movie, fucking Hillary didn't have a dry eye, Jeff, as you fucking could have guessed. But when they showed the first chest arc, I was like, God damn! Like I had some tears roll up in my eyes. I was like, God,
yeah, me too, man.
damn
I was
it.
just like, I couldn't.
And then the cheeseburger thing, I was like, God damn it!
Yeah, that thing
Yeah.
too, man. Shit.
Call back to the first one.
None of that got to me. I was surprised how happy I was to see Spider-Man in this movie. I was like, oh my God, Spider-Man's here. I got real happy. And then I was like, I don't like this version of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And
when
I'm like,
he took his
Spider-Man.
mask off, the one thing I didn't like, especially when he goes, oh, kill mode. I was like, God damn it, and then he when he first popped through the Doctor Strange portal hole, he takes his mask off. I was like, it should have been Tobey Maguire.
That would have been amazing. That's how you fuck with the MCU timeline. You bring back Terrence Howard and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I don't know who else could you
Talk
bring.
about fan service.
Yeah.
I would have
cried.
It's 5 years in the future. He just
Was
turns into
wait,
Tobey
hold
Maguire.
on. Wait, hold on. What was no? They couldn't have brought back Coulson.
Son of
No.
Cole.
Technically, they could have, but
He's not dead.
Yeah.
right. But just say he shows up, I'd have been like, okay,
See, I
I'll
would have been
dig
like,
that.
that's a little too much. So look, we get through the funeral part, and then Captain America goes back and takes Mjolnir, the Infinity Stones, and then he's like, they're counting down because it's like he'll be gone for however long it takes him, but it should be 5 seconds to them. And they count to 5, and he's not back. And they look over, and they see this old man sitting on a bench, and it's Captain America, and he gives his shield to the Falcon, aka Sam Wilson, which was cool as shit.
Also,
cool.
Man.
That was dope as fuck. I liked it, but the comic book fan in me was like, it should have been Bucky first. But I
agree.
Complain.
No, I agree.
The part
No,
I
no.
liked was when he goes like, "Are you going to tell me about her?" He goes, "Nope."
Yeah,
And I'm like, I loved that part. And
everyone
then-
started laughing in our theater when he said,
Oh,
that.
God,
Nobody-
no, well, also his old age makeup was fucking on point, man. Like it was really
looked great.
good.
And
I
the
thought it was a
voice
different actor.
No, it was him.
No, it was him.
That
It
was Chris
him.
Evans. God
Yeah,
damn.
that was Chris Evans. Yeah,
And the voice he did was really a good voice for an old man.
yeah, it was amazing. Oh,
And then you see, this is how the movie ends. There's a flashback, and it shows that Captain America went back, and he and Peggy Carter got married after all, and they lived their whole life together, and he's still alive. So
Yeah.
that's how the Avengers movies end. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that was
the end of the
pretty fucking
MCU.
yeah. Now we can get into specifics. Thanos sucked in this movie, man. He was so awesome in the last one. He was like, it is like Return of the Jedi. Darth Vader is the main character in Empire Strikes Back. He's the
Right.
coolest character. In Return of the Jedi, he's an afterthought.
Yeah.
I think because he becomes the fucking plot point instead of being the antagonist because they put it to the fucking Emperor. And I'm gonna save my dad, which it. As much as I love Return, I would have still liked it to be Darth Vader fucking shit up. And it's the same thing here where, and I think again, that's the thing. One of the reasons why I fell from a 10 to a 9 was I was hoping it was the Thanos that ended the universe. I was sure that was another projection of the Reality Stone, and then he's dead. I was like, fuck. And then, then they go and get Thanos from 2014, and I was just like, God damn it. Like, he was a cool additive at the end of Guardians, but he wasn't cool then. And for him to come back, and it was cool to see him whipping their ass, but I was just like, fuck, you're not 2018 Thanos. I don't like you anymore. All right, give me 2018 Thanos.
I was fine with him because, like, he had to be a little bit lesser because of just the whole story was them, trying to get back and get the stones, and it was very fun. Like, like the way he found out and everything. I was like, oh shit!
It just felt so convenient, though.
Yeah, the way he found out was dope, but and they still kept a level of coolness where he figures it out, and he fucking uses the PIM particles to shrink his ship. That was cool, and then and him being like, I'm gonna fucking, now that you've shown me, I'm gonna fucking erase all goddamn life. I'm gonna start over again, and no one's gonna know about you guys because you guys will be fucking dead. That was the coolest he got. But then after that, he just became the punching bag for the, for essentially for the fans. Which, look, again, I love the movie, but I just was like, I would have preferred him to stay a badass. At the very least, it'd have been cool if he starts whooping their ass.
The thing is, he's a completely different character.
Totally. Right, he's 2014. Yeah. He's fucking 5 years old at this age.
But that doesn't make for a good story. I mean, I know it makes sense logically in the story, but it just is like, you were so cool in the last one, and in this one, I didn't care. Like the fucked up part about the first one, I mean, I'm just going to call these like part 1 and 2, is that you could understand his motivations and his justifications for it. And you're almost like, okay, I get it. I get what he's trying to do. And then it ends with him, snapping his finger, and it plays the violin music and all that shit. And the movie ends and it's awesome. And then this one is it almost regresses to like pre-Avengers MCU, where it's just like, oh, it happens because it has to happen. That's how a story has to end. And then, that's
it. I get that. I again, they kind of painted themselves in the box going up to that point. Like, again, they should not have killed, 2018 Thanos, but that's just me. But again, yeah, I get that. It definitely came off at, subconsciously, they technically regressed. They went back and got 2014 Thanos and brought him to today. And you're just like, this isn't the cool dude. Like, this is Thanos without losing his daughter. This is Thanos without.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Getting the gauntlet.
Yeah, because he just appears and he pretty much has it. Because in the end, and you're right, because Infinity Wars, he had to fight for it all the way through and get it. And this guy just kind of found it and is like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna use it now.
Yeah, and because this is even before he gets the fucking, the Power Stone or the test, and it's just like, god damn, man, like, this is Thanos before the Collector mentions him. This is before all that. So subconsciously you kind of pick up on that and you're just like, yeah, this is the Thanos I didn't care about. This was the Thanos that's calling Ronan a boy. It's like, this, this isn't cool Thanos. This is just,
cliched Thanos.
Deep voice. We know it's Josh Brolin Thanos. So that kind of sucked. But.
Well, I got the same vibe out of Gamora too. Like, I don't think that her part in this movie was anything entertaining. You had to have her back. That's how you wrote her back into the storyline. But it's like that emotional aspect between her and Quill is gone. You got to build it back up. So you basically hit the reset button on their relationship. Nebula's now the fun, cool one. I mean, I hate to say it like this. They really didn't entice me for any MCU stuff going forward. It's just like, this is it. I'm okay with never watching another one of these, and it has nothing to do with Captain Marvel. She's barely in the movie. They had that raw girl power moment, and that's probably gonna be where they go in the future. But Captain Marvel, honestly, she says less words in this movie than, I'm trying to think of another MCU. She probably says as much. She says less than Ronan the Accuser in the first Guardians.
Probably. And X Danman, love you. That was a great comment, great reference, bro. Thank you. But also, but that's the other thing too. Like, the other bad thing that knocks it from a 10 to a 9 is that this makes Captain Marvel nothing outside of her showing outside of her showing up conveniently, like Jess said before, conveniently to save Tony and then conveniently to destroy the ship. She's a plot point. She's Captain Bad Timing. So not only was she gone for 20 years saving other worlds, she was gone for 5 fucking years, finally comes back and then gets headbutted out of the fucking movie. And so it's like, why was she all that shit talking, all of this, you can't say hero without her bullshit. She did not matter. She was almost there. She was the fucking B+ player in this movie, and so it kind of for me,
not even.
Well, I was being generous, because
she is not the Daniel Bryan of this movie.
No.
She wanted to fly the Valkyries. She ain't gonna fucking get it. But
no, dude. She appears like 3 times in the whole movie. And it's
Captain fucking bad timing. And
well,
it's just
like,
you're right. You're 100% right. 100%
hold on.
right.
Let's keep talking about her for a minute. 2 things. First off, do you think that her lack of appearance in this movie was because of the fan response to all the build-up and hype, and they just basically let her say her piece, blow off the steam, and they basically wrote her out of the movie without writing her out of the movie literally?
No, I think they did that on purpose. I think that, like we said 2 or 3 episodes ago, when our review of Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel was a selling point for the next phase, for the post hardcore fan phase, that what they're going to sell next. I think when they originally wrote Endgame, when the Russo brothers were doing it, they knew that Captain Marvel wasn't going to do all this shit. They knew that they put up with the bullshit from Captain Marvel's build-up. They put up with the bullshit from the whole press jug and that whole saga of Brie running her mouth. And I think that was one reason why they tried to get her to shut the fuck up right before Captain Marvel came out, was because they were probably like, hey, you aren't that character in Endgame. You're not that guy. You're not fucking Mike Vick here. You're fucking Archie Manning. Stay in the goddamn background. Wait your fucking turn. And and sure enough, and of course, I bet my fucking 401k there's gonna be some bullshit coming out about why she didn't do anything in Endgame. We'll deal with that shit. But I think they planned this shit from the jump. That's why the Russos didn't say shit, and they even kind of teased everybody a little bit, talking a little bit of shit about Captain Marvel. I think this was part of the plan from the jump.
Yeah, but if that's the plan, why would they want all this anger directed at this movie? Because there are so many people out there that are like, I'm not going to see Endgame. I don't want to see Captain Marvel beat up Thanos, this and that and the other. And they allowed that to get out there.
That's part of that marketing thing. They, that's
probably so that way when people like us come and tell you that she gets, fucking shot into orbit and doesn't do anything, those people look stupid. You'll give me money for the movie. Yeah, they look stupid, and then they go buy the tickets.
Yep, they're part of that second wave that comes back and helps it get higher on the chain as far as domestic gross. So, I don't think I'm not going to say that they're not fucking, they're not playing chess here, but I think they knew that, hey, Captain Marvel ain't going to be this big deal. We'll let this shit play out. We'll tell her to shut the fuck up for a little bit, and then when it passes over, they'll come back because we built this shit. So,
well, I don't think many people are going to come back as you think. Not because of the Captain Marvel stuff, just the finality of all this, how it feels.
Yeah, this was one hell of a fucking finale. I mean, I may come back for a handful of, not even a handful of things, just like things here and there if they're interesting. But I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'm fucking done. This was a great ending. This was a good way to end it, to cap it off. I'm fucking done.
Yeah. Walking out of the theater, I felt like Thanos did at the end of Infinity War. I was just like, I'm content.
You're gonna go live on a planet and make a garden?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my own poppy farm out in some weird planet and just hang out and just be like, I'm content with where everything is at right now.
Fuck both of y'all. I'm still gonna go to the other movies. I'm gonna complain about them. If they're good, they're good. I'm gonna continue to shit on Captain Marvel because I told you so, Brie. Shuck it. But I'm at least still happy with where it ended. Again, even though I kind of solid 9, loved it. Overall great movie. But it did not give enough for me to be at the level of excitement I was after Avengers, the first Avengers, where I was like, fuck, man, we're going on a goddamn title ride. I'm like, okay, it's done. I'll stick around, see what's happening. With Avengers being done, I'm honestly, I'm happier and a little bit more excited to see where DC is going to go, because, it's so final, and, we know that it's going to be this, whatever, but it's still going to be this, girl centric, girl power. Marvel we got the girl Avengers now. It's like, calm down, guys. I'll just go and watch fucking Aquaman cunt punch some dudes.
Poor old Patrick Wilson. Well, like you said about the first one, dude, when I left the first one, I swear, I know this sounds a bit hyperbolic, but I felt like the world had changed. You go in, you watch that movie, you come out, shit was different. And it really was in terms of MCU, superhero movies, all this stuff. Yeah. And thankfully, the Avengers got us out of that dark, gritty period that everyone was trying to copy because of the success of The Dark Knight. Before It used to be everything was trying to get a movie made like X-Men and Spider-Man, just a movie. You know, they would try to sex it up with leather suits instead of whatever, and they would try to make it dark, like in terms of like look. Then you got to the Nolan Dark Knight movie, and everything tried to copy the dark, gritty tone. Oh, it's gonna be realistic. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. And so we had all these movies that came out in that wake, and some worked, most did not. And then we had Avengers come out, and I said most things are going to copy Avengers now because they always copy whatever makes the most money. And the Avengers beat all those movies. That's why we had so many failed shared universe movies and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And
even Universal tried it for like the 8th time and it still failed.
God no. Oh, by the way, they showed a trailer for Hobbs and Shaw. I was going to see that movie, not anymore.
What?
Really?
I saw dude. I saw the trailer as well, and I saw one as well, and I was like, "This looks hilarious."
I'm in the opposite direction. I was like, I'm gonna watch the Fast and Furious that I missed, and I'm gonna probably go and see.
Me too. Me too.
No interest in it. The part where they go to Samoa, I'm just like, this looks fucking dumb.
Well, listen, I can tell you right now because you're my best buddy, you're my best friend. I can tell you right now, I cringed at the exact same fucking moment, even though I was an hour and a half behind you when fucking Roman Reigns did the ooh-ah. I was like, God damn it! I was like, I fucking hate him, and the whole row behind me started laughing. I was like, fuck Roman Reigns. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, my thing too is like I just don't really want. If it was like a globe hopping thing the whole time with a big crazy finale, awesome. I just don't want to watch him on a fucking island with spears. Look at Rock. I get it. You're part Samoan, dude. Embrace your heritage. Enjoy it. But not everything you do needs to be part of your heritage. Your heritage. Your heritage.
Yeah, that talk about heavy-handedness. Like, oh, I love my mama. My son's back. I need my brothers. I was like, I'm still gonna watch this movie, but come on, guys, really? Like, we get it, Rock. You don't have to put Roman in this movie, but you're going to anyway, and I'm gonna be cool with that. But you and I need to have a talk when this whole thing dies down, buddy.
I did not get that trailer.
What'd you get?
Really?
I got the new Chadwick Boseman movie, which is pretty much Black Panther, but as a cop. And
21 Bridges.
Yeah. So
yeah, I thought that idea was interesting. I was like, I'm gonna check this out because like seeing him do that kind of like New York cop thing with like drugs and stuff like that. I like those movies and I'll go watch it anyways because I think that's an interesting idea.
That's a rental for me. Like I said, it's pretty much Black Panther, but he's a cop. And trying to remember what else. I don't remember what other trailers there were.
We had like a and all that other dumb shit.
Yeah.
Lion King.
We got the Lion King.
Yep.
I didn't. Yeah. We didn't get Lion King here. So
we got Lion King, which, by the way, I don't know why the animals would be celebrating the birth of a new male lion, considering that there's a good chance he's going to be murdering half of them for food.
It's called Disney, bro. Get on the fucking bandwagon. We had this talk in 1994. Cool it.
No, I'm gonna just stay with the whole Nat Geo when it comes to how animals really behave on the Serengeti.
Yeah. I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there.
Yeah, well, cool it over there.
Well, let's see what some of the listeners are saying so we can respond to this. So Tanae says, damn, just finished watching your vid you made before the movie. What's up, boys? I'm just playing some KOTOR before bed. That sounds like a good way to spend some time.
Yeah, man. Listening to us playing video games.
E.M. Dubois says, thanks for helping me look for reviews. Feel free to share the email address I contacted you with. Also, all wings report in. Red Moist standing by.
Red Honey Dick standing by.
Yeah, if you were ever a pilot, your code name or call sign is Honey Dick. There you go. Basil says Dion and the horse compares size, and Dion bursts into laughter at how tiny the horse is compared to himself.
Okay,
there he goes.
Love you, buddy. They don't appreciate you. I do.
Jonathan Hurst says 5 out of 10. Just didn't feel as polished as the last. Oof.
That's a little bit of a reach,
man.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't as polished as the last, but it was a whole lot better than just mediocre.
Oh, definitely, man.
I do say though, I don't have the urge to watch this again.
I'll watch it another time.
I'm probably gonna pay to go see it at least one more time.
Well, I thought I was in the beginning of the movie. I was like into it. I was like, man, this is great. I'm gonna go back and see this on Sunday. And then as it went on, I was just like, no, I like it. I'm not mad. I'm fine. I'll get it on Blu-ray for $7 on Black Friday. I'll pop it in every once in a while, and that's about it.
Yeah, Dion, I'm with you. I might go watch it again. I really might go watch it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I had a great time.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I told Doofus we'd go back and see it again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I might go to one of the theaters that serves food and lots of alcohol and just get kind of drunk and watch it.
Absolutely. The next step is to watch it shit faced, and then
Oh yeah, get some wings and get some drinks and just have a good fucking time.
And then you just sit there, you're just getting shit faced. Yeah, that's America's ass.
You
They will
dumb Cap.
fucking hate me.
Melissa Anderson says, "Glad you liked it. Heading off to see it now." Well, Melissa, that you sent that about an hour ago, so I hope you're into the movie and you're enjoying it.
Probably into it right now.
Yeah. Echo Based Network says, "I have mixed feelings on the movies. I have mixed feelings on the movie and definitely the ending. Hated the woke girl power scene. I'm done moving forward, I think. Is this spoiler or non?" Well, we're in the spoiler section.
Yeah, so have at it.
Yeah, but that girl power scene definitely felt forced. I can't wait to see all the articles written by the Mary Sue and CBR and Kotaku and IO9 and all those fucking useless websites. Oh, how important it was for the girl. I'm like, look it. That scene worked in the last movie, not this time around. Because you had better characters. Without Scarlett Johansson, I cared less about the female Avengers.
Well, not only that, but like you said, it was forced. And then the other thing too, we say it all the time on this channel, over and over again. You can tell when something's disingenuous. Like, hey, we get it, but if you expect me to fucking believe that Gwyneth Paltrow is gonna come back and do more fucking movies, son, I was born in the morning, not this fucking morning, son. She's baking pizzas with her muff in her fucking brick oven. She's not coming back to do the goddamn
she's more worried about Goop.com than fucking these movies, right?
She's like, RDJ's gone. I'm gonna suck his dick one more time and then I'm done. I'm out.
I remember our good old days of Goop.
Oh god,
we still get emails from Goop.
I don't read the emails anymore. That is your job, sir.
Yeah, they usually just get auto deleted. I just see Goop and I'm just like, delete.
Marvel fan says, as a Hulk fan, I found this movie not very good. His best scenes were the past Hulk in New York. Thor, Cap, and Iron Man fight Thanos with Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, and outperformed by Captain Marvel and her soloing Thanos. I'm with you about the Hulk part. The best Hulk part was 2012 Hulk, to see it through a new lens when he's bitching about,
going down the stairs.
Yeah, that was good.
That was hilarious. I that kind of stuff I was so on board with, man. I loved it so much. I can't say enough positive things about it.
That was epic. I disagree with the part about Captain Marvel beating up Thanos better than the other guys did, because she really didn't.
No, she didn't.
No, again, we talked about it too.
She did, though. She did. No, she was beating the shit out of him. It took the blast from the thing into the back of the van to blow it up. That's what caused her to go off. And then she did get an advantage over him more than anyone else. And then he was eventually able to beat her. But I'm just saying, more so like, dude, when Captain America was going up against Thanos, he got like 1 or 2 hits, and then he chopped his shield apart. Thor, Iron Man, not the same effect. I mean, she didn't have the outcome that the other ones did.
She got one-shotted though, so it was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, she she did get fucking headshotted, but also, outside of like not obviously, but thinking back, I thought Thor had the better one-on-one. I mean, outside of fucking him about to get his fucking heart impaled by Stormbreaker and Captain America saving his ass at the last minute. You have, Thor and him going one-on-one. He had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. I thought that was a way cooler scene, a way better one-on-one than her and Thanos, outside of her trying to Rey Mysterio his ass and kick off the gauntlet with his foot. And then he headbutts her. At least Thor was going down. And he's about to get stabbed in the goddamn chest. I thought that was a way better one-on-one, than Brie trying to be all, Miss Captain last minute.
If she would have hit him with a 619, I think I would have been a little bit higher up
God.
On her and be like,
God.
Oh damn. 619. Dude, a 619 can kill somebody.
It has.
Oh,
Exactly.
goddamn, dude.
Echo
meatball.
Echo Based Network says time travel equals lazy writing.
Not in this case.
I mean, what else did you want them to do? Honestly, what was the other way of doing it?
Is it what else do you want them to do, or what else could they do?
Well, okay, what else could they do?
I think you don't. Well, the thing is, you don't necessarily have to include time travel. Thanos doesn't have to snap the stones out of existence. There are other ways to get to the finale you want, and the question is what finale do you want? Are you trying to just write these actors off because you're tired of paying them money and they're tired of playing the roles, or are you trying to tell logical stories to continue a franchise? Because I didn't like all the time travel elements. I didn't dislike it either. Like I said, it just felt like everything they did was inconsequential. It's like, they came up against no adversity. They basically raid it through half of the movie. It's like, we're gonna fight these people. Nope, we just time jumped back. We're good. Everything's fine. I wanted a little more adversity for the heroes. And because it happened in the last movie, doesn't make it okay for this one for them to just glide through it.
Right, yeah, the time travel, I get the issue with time travel. If anything, I thought it was more of an homage to, that's a very Marvel fucking thing to do, is time travel. So I thought that was them trying to somewhat, throw a wink and nod to the comic books doing time travel. Now, granted, it doesn't always work in the comic books. There's a lot of storylines where the time travel thing comes off as very fucking misguided, but again, like I said earlier, I would have preferred that it would have been 2018 Thanos. You have that mourning, wounded, old man Thanos with the gauntlet. I think would have been a better story overall than them going back and getting 2014 Thanos. So I agree with that. But as far as laziness, I mean, you literally at this point, there's that corner that they painted themselves in. It's either time travel or it's you somehow write a very good storyline and you accept the fact that some characters aren't going to come back and you don't get a chance to use them in the finale, which, again, I get. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was lazy. It was just they had two choices and they very Marvel-y went with the time travel one.
I think what they should have done, instead of having to deal with the time travel thing, they could have all showed up there on his little planet, beat his ass, chopped his head off, and all of a sudden the red wipe goes across the screen. And they realize he was fucking with their reality.
That's what I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He beats their ass and lets them know that he could just, snap his fingers again and do that. But, if they just leave him be, then he, whatever. But they show up again. That's the danger that they deal with, is him just snapping the entire universe out of existence and rebuilding. And then he just, portals himself out of there. And then they have to sit down and regroup and come up with a plan.
That's what I thought was going to be the movie. And I think that would have been a better. I thought there was going to be, the same thing. And then they have to somehow use the quantum realm to get him there and fight him there, which again, I think would have been either the quantum realm or they get some to get back into the fucking mirror realm or something like that. I thought would have been good. But again, they literally had two choices here. They painted themselves in that corner, which is not a bad corner to be in, but I would have fucking pissed my pants if they cut his head off and then everything goes to red and he's standing there and he beats the shit out of him. I think that would have been fucking crazy.
Yeah, I would have loved that way more than what we got.
That would have been ridiculous.
One thing I will give the Avengers franchise credit for is the course correction. Like, I'm so glad we're removed from the Joss Whedon era.
Yeah,
beyond grateful, because the first one works. The second one, not as much. It has a lot of inconsistencies. But then the Russo brothers really blew it out of the water. They've done what, 4 Marvel flicks?
Yeah.
And all 4 have been great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, dude. It's like I said, Joss Whedon served his purpose. He brought us the first one, and then he did Age of Ultron. He bitched a fit and they cut his ass to the curb, which could not have been a better decision.
Let's see. Brian Kaufman gave the $2 super chat with no message. Thank you very much. The Major Spike 9000 says, "Selfish wish time. I would have loved Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider over Captain Supercuts. Which character would you have picked? Any character for fun?"
I would have had the X-Men in there. At least Wolverine or something.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I would have traded Captain Marvel for the Defenders. I think you get rid of her, you bring the other 4 in. I think that's a little bit of a more complete franchise, and then you just have Captain Marvel show up in Phase Woman.
You do know they actually tied the TV shows into this movie, right?
Yep.
With Jarvis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
From Captain or Agent Carter, they showed the actor. I was like, okay, cool. So they tied that together. I wouldn't have put the Defenders. They would have been useless in this fucking fight. Like, I like Daredevil, but Luke Cage and all them, they would have been fucking useless in this movie. Like, completely, they would have been so out of place.
Well, I mean, they're a lot less out of place than fucking Captain Last Minute. I blew the ship up, guys. Headbutt. I'm done.
Well, I heard people in the theater when Jarvis showed up, they're like, "Who's Jarvis?" I was like, "What the fuck?
How the hell do you not know who Jarvis is?" Even my nephew turned to me and pointed at the screen. He's like, "Hey, that's yeah, it is, and he's 9."
Yeah, well, all I can say is you're teaching that kid right. Okay, that's all I can say.
I know, I'm doing a good job. Did you see his Waffle House he got for dinner?
Yeah, I did.
That kid's, he's on the fucking train now. He's all about that Waffle his house.
You guys got that. I went to Jimmy John's to get a sandwich. The woman that made my sandwich was so stoned she didn't charge me, so I was happy as hell.
Oh my
she goes, "Put your card in," and I go, "Okay." And you know how it'll say like your total, and you hit OK.
Yeah.
It just kept saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. She made me my sandwich. She handed it to me, and then she walks out the door to go back to smoke some more. And I just took my card out and left. I was like, okay, I didn't have to pay
that's
for this.
hilarious.
My man.
Yeah,
My man.
There you go. There you
So I
go.
got a free gargantuan. It was the best tasting sandwich
Ooh.
I've ever had from Jimmy John's
Yeah,
because it was
there you
because it
go.
was free.
And it was made with love.
I would, yeah. She was high as
I
shit.
don't know about that.
I really wish I would have ordered like a pickle, an extra sandwich, and something else. She's like, yeah, blah blah blah, and just gave me a whole bunch of free food to take into the theater to give out to people. But no, I can dream. Any character? Who would I want to see? I would have liked to see the Silver Surfer show up. Well, that would have made no sense. But if I'm being selfish, who do I want to see? Oh, I got to see Spider-Man and all the characters I like. The Punisher. I think the Punisher should have been doing some of the shit Barton was doing. That would have been cool.
Yeah, punishing
Yeah,
Thanos
yeah.
for wiping out half the
No.
population.
I would have had the Punisher appear in one of the New York scenes.
Oh,
I don't think every superhero needs to go fight Thanos. You can have other heroes do other things. I just like the idea of like, you know, how they're talking about the cartel and shit. You know, they could have talked about Barton met somebody that has the same ideals or some dumb shit like that, and you could have done that. That's the only thing I would have wanted to see.
yeah, that's not bad.
I'll touch and take a Venom face style.
Wait, what?
Beat bop style.
Okay. Echo Base Network says, so we lost Iron Man, Cap, Black Widow, Vision, and Loki for good. Well, Loki's still out there somewhere. He's got that Tesseract and another Time Stone.
Yes.
And he can use some dark magic to get himself wherever he needs to be. But yeah, Black Widow's dead, which is I'm fine with. Vision has to be dead, which I'm fine with. And Iron Man, it really kind of tied everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Ref Deline says, hey guys, I just got out of my showing. How far into the stream are y'all? LOL. Pretty goddamn far at this point.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's midnight, motherfucker.
Yeah. So Echo Base Network says, so what happened to Thor's hammer? Cap took it with him at the end. Also, now Falcon is Captain America? Stupid. Well, the hammer was dropped off back at Asgard with the Ether Stone. Cap being Captain America, I'm okay. I like the idea of Bucky and Sam teaming up to fight villainy, but not necessarily under the guise of Captain America. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see him. Like, it was cool to like that whole mantle changing hands. That was very cool. But again, if it were to happen, it should have been Bucky. Just, you know, the comic book fan. I mean, it was like it should have been the bro that was there when he became Captain America.
He can be Lieutenant America.
Lieutenant America.
You're finally got ranked up, Bucky. You're ranked up.
I do love though how he did stop off and get married to Peggy Carter. I thought that was so.
I
cool.
love that. That was fucking. Especially when
that was wonderful.
They tease it when he sees her when they go back to 19. I was like, God. I was like, that's fucking cool. And then he fucking gets with her. I was like, yes, you can be a rest, Captain. You can be a rest.
That definitely makes you look at the first Avengers movie and Winter Soldier much differently. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing though.
No, I think it's a good thing. I think it at the very least it makes it sticks to that captain that learned from Winter Soldier. So before it was him, you know, he's Captain America, he sacrifices, he comes back, he joins SHIELD to help people, and then he learns that, you know, he can't always depend on the powers that be. During Winter Soldier, he learns that in Civil War, and that same Captain America goes back and makes a decision for himself, which I think without Civil War, without that shit, he doesn't make that decision. So I think that fits that character development fucking perfectly.
Anybody else?
I like the way he ended.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way it ended was perfect. It was good. It was a nice happy ending for Cap. He needed it.
Yep.
You know, he's sacrificed so much just by being alive and being, I don't know, 98 years old, whatever it is. Like, yeah, he needed to go back and get a life.
Yep. Give him the ending he deserved.
Salvador says, maybe I'm in the minority. Other than a couple of cringe moments, I loved it, start to finish, especially when Thanos pimp slapped Cap dumb barful out of frame. got a lot of stuff we've been waiting for.
You're not in the minority on this group.
No. Just because I'm questioning some of the film, I think an 8 out of 10 is still a damn fantastic
Oh, absolutely,
score.
dude. Yeah, man. Not a bad score. That's a good score.
Yeah, not at all. Like I said, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie, but, you know, stepping away from the initial, like, oh my God, there are just a few things.
Right.
But, I mean, put it like this. I was desperate to see Infinity War in theaters multiple times, never had a chance. I have the chance to see this a bunch. I'll wait. If it ever hits a streaming service that's not Disney Plus, maybe I'll watch it a bunch. It was cool to see some really neat things in this movie. I loved when Tony brought Cap the Shield back at the Avengers base.
Oh, that was really nice.
I loved the part with Ant-Man and the tacos. I thought that was
shit,
That was awesome. That was awesome. I think still of all of that, I think one of my favorite was, they're fighting and he brings the ship. He goes, listen, if you lose this again, I'm keeping it.
Well, I just there are the little moments. The Hulk. I love how Hulk was trying to be sexy and hit on women.
Yes, dude, I did love Hulk and his whole thing. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Banner Hulk was awesome. I hated that he didn't get his redemption fighting Thanos. I thought that would have been a very cool moment to have him come out of the rubble and be like, "You and I got unfinished fucking business, bitch." But but still, I loved him with the fucking kids. Like, no, you should take a picture because now he's gonna feel bad. Ant-Man's like, kick the goddamn camera, and then him being like, no, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
No, especially him during the whole first time travel test.
Yes,
was hilarious. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, all set.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I love Paul Rudd in this movie so much.
He was awesome.
He did so Paul Rudd in general.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm very confident saying he stole the show. Just like he stole the beginning, hands fucking down, and even the second half. Him and Wasp get reunited. Fucking Ant-Man might very well be my favorite character in fucking Endgame. I mean, just the whole bit, and then obviously he ties together the idea to go back in time, which I thought was very fucking fitting because again, Ant-Man's the steal of the fucking Phase 3. He's he comes in, he's one of the steel characters in Civil War. I thought it was very fitting that he gets to Endgame, he steals the fucking show. He's the reason that they come up with all this shit, and then he has some of the best moments. I was like, that's fucking poetry in motion right there.
Kept saying Steel. I kept thinking of Shaq. I'm like, I thought you were trying to say something nice about this character, but what the fuck's happening?
No. Steel isn't taken. Not Steel's in that shitty movie we don't remember anymore.
That's who should have been in the movie too. Shaq. For no reason. Yeah, no explanation. Yeah. Shaq just shows up.
Yeah, they're in the middle. He's in the middle of a broadcast, and then the rest of them just disappear. He's just like, oh, fuck you, Kobe.
That would have been.
And then he makes a free throw, but nobody's there to see it.
It would have been nice if they would have taken a little time and shown the world fall apart catastrophically, just in the beginning. Yeah. Like they showed the Hawkeye part. It would have been neat to see I don't know, a plane fall out of the sky or whatever happened, and all these crazy things go down, and then the news try to make sense of it, and then cut to the Avengers. I would have liked to have seen a little more world building in terms of that.
I would too.
That was one of my biggest complaints.
I get that, but I thought it was very content, especially with all the questions everyone had. With
you were content?
Well, easy, not really, but still, for the sake of the conversation. But I thought that was the perfect way. Just him, he's fucking, he's got the fucking because they mention it. They mention it with Nat mentions it, and he's got the fucking ankle bracelet, and then they're fucking shooting arrows, and they're about to eat hot dogs. I thought that was now if they did it after the Marvel title card, then they show that shit. I thought that would have been a perfect place.
Yeah, it would have still had the Hawkeye shit, and then it would have gone to that, and then it would have went to Captain America and everybody being pissed.
Yeah, but I did like the abruptness of it just to start there.
Right.
Right. I did like that because it's just kind of like, what are you showing us and what's going on, and then you realize, oh, yeah, this is happening right now.
That was a very good gut punch. Very good.
Yeah, that was
VGEDRR says the real lesson of Endgame: when you're a superhero dad, the only option allowed is to raise a daughter because boys don't deserve role models.
That's a bit of a stretch, but
that seems a bit harsh.
Yeah,
a little bit of a stretch on that one there, brother.
I'm with him. Fuck you, 3. Stop sucking this movie's dick. D Hasselhouse says, I was half expecting Ray to pose with the Femvengers.
Shit, they already got Iron Man handing her a fucking lightsaber. I wouldn't have been surprised. She does a backflip over the fucking Thanos ship and cuts one of the wings off. And she's like, yeah, you should have hit me with the ship instead of fucking trying to hit me.
I wish Pepper Potts would not have been rescued. She was so out of place.
That was to have her have a suit and then just not mention it at all. I was like, really, guys? Like, you had to put her in there? You had to. You couldn't have done something else. That was so heavy-handed. That was so goddamn heavy.
It just wasn't. It's not about heavy-handed. It just wasn't good. It's just flat out. It's like, oh, and you know, and so and so's got Pepper's got a suit too, and here's Agent Coulson in his fucking tank, and this just it just everything with that final scene. And I get it. That's what people wanted, but I would have liked less fucking like an army of Sorcerer Supremes or whatever showed up. That was dumb. It was nice to see Wong. But that's
that I didn't have a problem with, especially.
Yeah, I like Wong.
I liked Wong, and I didn't have an issue with the rest of the Sorcerer Supreme crew showing up. I thought it would have been, especially since they mentioned the armor around the world. I think they should have had all the other Iron Man suits show up. That would have been because he's done it twice in this franchise. I thought you could have had that along with if you wanted to bring out some lightly mentioned thing from Stephen Strange, it would have made the same, or Doctor Strange, it would have made the same amount of sense to show, hey, remember when I made all these fucking suits? Hey, they show back up again.
That would have been terrible. I would have hated that.
What if Rusev would have showed up in a tank?
He would have still lost to John Cena.
Ew.
It would have been a cool visual.
Fuck you, Thanos. I am the United States champion.
Yeah, fucking Rusev just comes blasting across the plane in a tank.
His fingers and there's no more United States.
No.
Or he snaps his fingers and there's no more John Cena.
And I'm okay with
I'm okay with that.
Thanos is the villain.
He's the anti-hero at that point.
No, he's the villain. He's going to make you suffer with Cena. All life on Earth gets destroyed except John Cena.
He snaps his finger and now there's like multiple Cenas.
Well, spoiler alert, we can't see any of them.
That's right.
Oh, please leave, sir.
Okay, I can hit stop broadcast. Elite says loved Tony, Rocket, and Nebula. Really disliked 2019 Hulk and Thor. Was expecting more characters to die. 9 out of 10 for me though. Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, same here. I was expecting a little more death on the Avengers end.
I was okay with the lack of carnage. I didn't, Thor, man. I get that he was depressed, but he should have got his groove back a little earlier in the movie.
Yeah, you would think so.
Like after his mom, I thought he would have been more like, yeah, right away. But no, it took a couple minutes.
Yeah, frat boy, Thor. Just you don't see him as a serious threat to Thanos.
No,
he was dude Thor. Okay, he was dude.
Yeah,
Thor.
he was dude.
He did get
perfect.
He did get called Lebowski once.
Yeah, what I said. That's why.
Yeah.
He was dude Thor.
I do miss Chris Pratt in this movie. I never realized how much I would miss him. But dude, the ship between him, Batista, and Thor on the ship, that was just so great in Infinity War. And I was missing that type of a character.
I think putting it in this one would have been a bad idea. I like wait.
It's not about putting it in this movie. It's that they're missing, like, so many of the characters are so similar. Like they're just
right.
Yeah,
they're just cardboard cutouts of the same thing in different costumes.
Yeah, but are you saying
people's personalities are
right?
very
But you're saying would you have wanted it in this movie?
I would have wanted some variety in my heroes.
Right, but I'm saying specifically, would you have wanted that in this movie?
What, the exact same scene from the last movie? Of course I do. This is a different.
Yeah. I'm saying more of Thor, Batista, and Chris Pratt.
You couldn't have it in the movie. What I mean is I wanted the characters to be a little more varied. Like look at Hawkeye's shit made sense.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty varied in this one.
I didn't think they were varied at all. It was all like like whoever said the Return of the Jedi comparison is the best one, because Han Solo is different in Empire than in Jedi. He's just there to complete a task. He doesn't have any character. Right. They all exist to complete a goal. They don't really grow except for Iron Man, Captain America. Thor doesn't really grow. Black Widow, she was always willing to do whatever. Mm-hmm. Hawkeye, he was interesting. Because I always love those types of characters where they're like on the edge and they're like it's like what Riggs from Lethal Weapon, Right. And then you have those come to Jesus moments and you realize, well, there's some shit to live for. So I like those types of things. But overall, I didn't enjoy the characters this time around as much. Iron Man was fine. Captain America, way better than usual. Because he was barely in Infinity War. He was
Right, yeah.
He was a beard and a fucking dirty costume, and that's about it.
And shitty shields. I don't know. Yeah, I thought there was a perfect amount of character change. You got, depressed fatty Thor, and you've got skinny anorexic Iron Man, and then I think
I wouldn't call that a character change. He was starving in space for 3 weeks. That's just a natural effect of the that's
right,
not
but
you can build the movie up to. That's not
what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have skinny Iron Man becomes, outside of at the, right before he becomes back to help them with the thing, he loses the will to fight for the first half of the movie, which I thought was, especially when he keeps mentioning his kid. He comes back, but in the beginning, he doesn't want to help in the beginning.
I understand that, but you're using look at Thor's transformation is based on character development. Depression, he lost, he's pissed off, this, that, and the other. Iron Man is literally from a lack of nutrition, and once he gets that fixed, it's over. That's not a character development that's worthy of anything. That's not a character development. That's a physical response to a lack of food for 3 weeks in outer space.
Right, and that was I was just using that as an example, but I'm
it's not
specifically
an example.
talking about that was him losing and getting small was a preface to him not helping them in the beginning.
But
I thought that was
that's not true at all. Them not helping him, it was his response to having a kid and a family. The weight loss thing is a facile argument.
I'm not saying it's an argument. That was part of the bit, the joke. But again, you have skinny Iron Man, and then leads in. Eventually he comes back. I'm just talking using one physical trait just to lead into the next fact of him not helping. I'm not saying that was the character development. I was just using that as the marker.
That's not a marker. Him having a daughter is the marker. The skinniness is nothing to the movie. That's like Black Widow's hair being blonde and then red. It just happens over the course of the movie. It doesn't actually. It's not a thing of note. It's just
right. I'm agreeing with that. I was just using that for the joke for this part of it. I understand that. I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying, yeah, that was an interesting bit in that part of the film. He comes back and he's all, he loses a bit of his fire.
I don't think he lost a bit of his fire. He just redirected it. He had all that piss and vinegar when he first landed and talked about we lost together and all this shit. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He was angry. And then they finally come to him and he's just kind of like, I got this life. And he even says, I refuse to lose what I've gained or whatever.
Then he gets back and he still says, hey, yeah, I got a kid. I have to care. I have to think about that. That was a cool character development bit.
Yeah, that was neat. I liked that part. Let's see. Tim Riggs says, with Endgame out and the main story finished, does MCU have much of a future now?
I'm sure
they have a future. I wouldn't say much of a future. They have a future, but not
$3 billion movies come out anymore.
Yeah, they're all going to be small movies. Probably a lot of one-offs, I would say. Yeah, probably going to be what happens. Probably going to be a lot of very, very smaller movies that come out. Probably not as regularly as these. Maybe once a year, maybe once every couple of years. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? There's no more Iron Mans. There's going to be no more Captain Americas. You really can't do an Avengers unless you force it with a group of people you don't want to watch.
Well, unless they have time travel again for the second time, and then like, oh, we're going to go back and get the Avengers to the future or something.
Yeah, why the hell not?
God, I hope not. I don't think they'll harp on the time travel thing a bunch. That probably is just kind of a one-off.
They never mentioned it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say they displayed a rather cavalier attitude towards how time travel works in this movie. So who knows?
It's like Dale Jepsen with cars.
Yeah.
No. Let's see. They're gonna move it to TV. They got this Disney Plus thing. They got all these plans. I heard something online that the Vision and Scarlet Witch show is gonna take place in the 50s. It makes no fucking sense now.
What?
Banging robots in Middle America, 1950.
Somehow more acceptable than a black guy in 1950s America.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up.
Well, that's how they would have treated that shit.
No, you're right.
Is he a cyborg American now?
No. He's an Intel American.
Oh. They didn't have Intel chips back then, bro.
God, IBM American. What do you want from me?
They didn't exist in the 50s either, did they?
I don't know. Vacuum tube American. Okay, we'll go with that.
Cyborg American.
Yeah, okay. Cyborg works. Lou says, "Hey lads, what about Nebula versus Nebula? Isn't she dead?"
No, not based on their time travel rules.
That's true.
They basically wrote this movie with time travel rules to be like, oh, you can basically wipe anything out and get back to normal. It's like a reset button in many ways.
Yeah.
Fred Richards.
That other Nebula is going to be fine when they go back and put the time stone back.
Yeah. I liked the growth of Nebula, and then the other Nebula just made me dislike even the good Nebula. I was like, I fucking hate this character again.
That was annoying. And then when she shot, I was like, okay, I'll go back to liking pre-half-ass tier Nebula.
What do you think the world's going to do about New York? So they went through that Battle of New York in 2012, and then this battle where they just destroyed a chunk of New York, not city, but state. Thanos just destroyed the shit out of that.
I think
Yeah.
I think New York's gonna move to just be in Canada, you know, and just be like,
No
we're safer up
New
here.
York.
It's fine.
That'd explain why their tax rates are so goddamn high.
Maybe Captain Marvel will fly up under the island of Manhattan and just fly that to Canada.
There you go.
There you go.
That's gonna happen.
Or send it to Jersey.
No,
Dude,
no,
come
they want to go somewhere nice, not somewhere where it always smells.
Those people
Yeah.
deserve better. Give those people air.
Yeah.
Well, they're refugees now.
Pilgrims in an unholy land.
Oh god.
That's a movie I'd rather watch than this one. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. But then again,
Oh, jeez.
that movie's not even a fair comparison to anything.
No.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Fred Richards says, "How was the Stan Lee cameo?" Good.
It was good. No, it was funny. It was funny.
It was.
all right.
It was a blink and you miss it though.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really quick.
I hate to say it. I thought his cameo in Captain Marvel was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was real kind-hearted. You actually got the bitch to smile, which was pretty cool.
And he was reading a script for Mallrats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that scores like an extra 100 points
It
just
does.
because
it really
of,
does.
of the awareness of the time period they were in.
Let's see. Da Hasselhouse says Howard Stark wished for a daughter. Yeah, subtle.
Well,
I did
Okay.
like the Howard Stark scene though.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
I did too.
That was dope, especially having that dude come back to play Howard Stark again was very good. You know, it was weird seeing him with brown hair though. I don't know if I like that part.
Yeah,
I was like, that's fucking weird. But no, that was cool to see. And then that awkwardness when he hugs him, says thank you for your service.
Wait, did he have gray hair in Iron Man 2?
He did.
Yes, he did.
During the video, during the movie, yeah, he did. He had great.
Then he should have had gray hair here because that took place in the 60s. Because look at
That was right when he was starting the Stark Expo. Yeah,
that actually.
Yeah.
Wait, this movie fucks up the timeline. Then, if that's the case,
unless part of his research at that base was creating Just for Men.
right.
no, but wasn't okay. They say that Tony Stark's born in 1970 in this.
70 or 71, yeah.
No, it says 1970 in the thing. So that make him 21? But doesn't that go against the shit at the beginning of the first Iron Man movie?
Which part?
The very beginning, it tells you exactly how old he was at what year when he graduated from MIT and all this shit. And then it talks about him being, I don't know. I got to go back and look at it, but it's kind
I
of.
have to watch it again. I don't think it you're talking about the quick scenes where it shows him growing up on the cover of the magazines.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. I don't because they.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again.
I have to watch it because I think they show the 91 bit. I gotta watch it again because I think they show the 91 bit and then they just go from. I don't think they go back to.
Yeah, but then in
touch
Iron
on-
Man 2, they clearly have him looking like Walt Disney in the 60s.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to watch it again. I'm not entirely
no, but-
sold that
but-
he has gray hair. I have to watch that bit again because I know they mentioned the year of the expo and he says the anniversary when he comes down as Iron Man. So that it might have fucked that bit up, but because 1970. Yeah, I gotta watch Iron Man 2 again before I comment on that bit.
Well, I looked up a picture of him. He has way different hair, but he's got brown hair.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. He looks like Disney. Actually looks like Charming Taint Man, aka Channing Tatum.
Chafing Tater.
Chafing Tater.
We get the MIB sequel. Yeah.
That trailer played before my movie. It looked like dog shit.
No,
We
but I
didn't get
that,
it.
thank
I
God.
Didn't
But-
get that one.
We were talking about it before the movie. I was just like, they sacrificed the Jump Street MIB
Oh.
crossover for this fucking MIB movie, and I'm
Which
just
was so dumb.
so sad,
dumb.
so sad.
I got the Gemini Man
Yeah, I got that too. Fuck that
trailer,
movie.
and I'm just like, this looks stupid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah. I'm not a big Will Smith fan anymore.
Mhm.
I'm still a big Will Smith fan. I just kind of I'm cool to acknowledge that he's like he's a coin flip at this point. It might be good, it might be utter dog shit, and I just judge him silently from my chair.
or loudly on this website.
Or very
Yeah.
loudly on this channel. That too. Because Gemini Man looks, I don't know about that one, Will.
Yeah, but you also were a big fan of the one with Jaden Smith.
I was a fan of the trailer to be honest, I said I like the trailer. So just for clarification here, for the
We're
record.
talking about The Pursuit of Happiness, folks. Not the M. Night Shyamalan film. I have more faith in Dion. Come the fuck off. So are there any MCU flicks that you think are better than this just off the top of your head?
Infinity War.
Infinity War might be better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Infinity War, Iron Man.
The first Avengers movie.
Yeah, first Avengers. The
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I wouldn't go that.
Ant-Man and Iron Man, I wouldn't put.
Oh, I definitely put Iron Man above this.
Oh, yeah, I would put Iron Man above this, yeah.
As well as Civil War and Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good movie. I'm still sticking with my
we're choosing between gold and platinum here. I'm not saying you guys are wrong.
Now this is much better than Age of Ultron.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
It's better than Black Panther.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Dude, Black Panther felt like an afterthought in this movie.
It did.
Yeah. It was, man, because outside of him walking through and giving the nod, he really, then he had the gauntlet for a little bit. He didn't really do anything, which I'm totally fine with. I'm like, hey, this, same thing, bro. Wait your fucking turn. This ain't your movie, But again, yeah, he definitely didn't. Outside of turning the tide with the Wakandans, that he didn't really do much.
Outside of a few things I dislike about that, Black Panther to me seems like it has the best legs to continue a trilogy or a franchise, because if you put him in the right settings and you don't make it about Wakanda and righting the wrongs of American politics, and you put him in actual fun superheroing things, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
I just don't want to be preachy bullshit.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with the character. I mean, I'm down with that too.
Because he's got the money of Iron Man. He's got the cool technology. I don't like his sister that much. I don't hate her, but I don't want her to be like his sidekick in every movie.
Showing her walk through too, I thought was dumb. Like, she has the two Panther Fist things. She's not a warrior. They made that very clear in Black Panther. They made that very clear in Infinity War. She's not a warrior. So having her walk through, I was like, that, we get it. You want to have her in the future. I get that, but you don't have to shoehorn her into the final cut or the final scene just because you want to remind people, hey, she exists. Like, bitch, we know, we've seen the other movie. Calm down.
Yeah. So yeah, we all gave it high scores. Perfect, no, great, damn close to it. A lot of fun, a good movie. Sadly though, I think a lot of us feel there's really not too much left. So if you're out there wondering, should you go see this movie? Yeah. We all recommend it.
Definitely go watch it. Yeah.
But if you're wondering what's next for Marvel, probably not a lot.
They're probably gonna take a really long break after this.
No,
honestly.
they're not. No, they're not.
Away from Home is July, dude. Yeah.
Okay, after that they're gonna take a really long break.
No,
dude, they got movies planned.
Jesus Christ! All right, they're not taking a break. They're just gonna keep.
Remember, they got 78 phases to this Marvel Cinematic.
78. I thought it was 132.
Could be. They got 616 phases to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Normally you got a 50-50 chance of enjoying a movie, but this is a Marvel flick.
God, I don't know. Like I said before, and I'll say it again. I'm done. I'm out. This is a good ending. It was great. I had a good time. I loved it, but I'm done.
I'll get Gary from the Nerdrotic channel to cover you.
Yeah,
for every Marvel
fine. Perfectly fine.
There you go.
Tim Riggs says Chadwick Boseman actually has charisma. He does.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, like what's her nuts?
Yeah. Now here's the final word on Brie Larson. We'll give you a quick again. She's barely in this movie.
Yep.
Her voice is annoying, so that's not going to change. It's just her voice. But she does get a sensible lady shoe wearing haircut. So the LGBT 3000 what we call her. She's barely in it though. She disappears. They write her off. She never gets involved with the Infinity Stone time heist. She doesn't go back and retcon anything. She does get the leg up on Thanos, and then eventually he just smacks her down, and he literally punches her out of the film until she shows up at the funeral for Iron Man. So if you're reading all these articles or hearing all this shit, we've told you everything she does. We're not glossing over it. We're not trying. She has probably 5 lines in this movie?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think she has 5 lines in this film, and it basically. I honestly stand by the fact that there are other cuts of this movie with more of her in it.
I'm sure.
All that Reddit shit was those Reddit leaks were in this movie. Much like we've talked about the rumored Reddit leak for episode 9, and then the trailer kind of confirmed some of this stuff. That Reddit shit about the Hulk and all these other crazy things, those happen. Not,
Ooh, so yeah, it's good to know that. It's good to know that.
So follow that Redditor, I guess. It's not us. Shit, I wish I had insider information. I'd find a way to find it.
Yeah.
You knew whoever the Redditor is, like they're risking their life for that kind of stuff, because just to write it on there is like that's risky already, because you can get fined, sued, and all kinds of shit for that.
It's Zack Snyder. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. But yeah,
sense.
that is the Captain Marvel verdict. She's barely a plot point. It's just so dumb. She shouldn't even have her own fucking movie. They should have just waited to introduce that chick till later.
Yeah, I agree.
The only moment she has is they show a picture of Nick Fury after he had died, and she just looks at it like, oh, Fury.
Yeah, she tears up a little bit, and then that's it.
She's the most inconsistent Marvel character too, because like we said, back in the day, Dion, when Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America met in that first Avengers flick in the woods when they were fighting, that felt like one of those old crossover comics where they fight for a couple minutes and then they team up.
Yep.
She doesn't feel like any kind of superhero at all.
Well, she feels she's fucking forced in, and like I said, it made Captain Marvel feel like the fucking redheaded stepchild that won't shut the fuck up. It was just weird. Like you went through all this, you put the movie out there, you made sure it was in March, and then she's in 5 minutes of the fucking movie, of the final cut of the movie, and it's like, okay, well, what was outside of selling me something, selling me a character? Why the fuck was she in this movie? Why did I have to go through all that shit in March?
Yeah. It really tarnished your brand for a lot of people.
Yeah, what is different from her it coming out in March and it coming out in fucking August or September? Like, what is different? I mean, not that much.
History Day thing isn't in August.
Fuck. I mean, make the shit come out in March of 2020. Like, does that really change how we feel about Endgame?
Yes, Dion, it does. Yes, Dion, it does.
Yes, yeah, it does. It does. It does. You just don't understand the intricacies of this stuff.
That must be it. That must be it. It's the testosterone in my brain. It's making.
You're just so toxic. You're just so toxic right now. You just can't see it straight.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, dude, they released the synopsis for the next James Bond movie.
Oh,
what's the?
I saw that. What's his name? Mr. Robot's supposed to be the villain.
Yeah, Rami Malek.
It says Bond 25 synopsis from MI6 UK website. Bond has left active service and is enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica. His peace is short-lived when his old friend Felix Leiter from the CIA returns, asking him for help. The mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology. But I'm going to see that movie tomorrow.
I mean,
that sounds good.
Like, dude, I always
got Phoenix Leiter in it. I'll take it.
I always like the Felix Leiter character. Always have. I always love that character.
Jeffrey Wright's the man.
Do what now?
Jeffrey Wright's the man.
No, 100%. I underrated as shit. I wish he was doing more stuff. I'm glad he's that character. And I'm just real happy with that. So that sounds interesting, especially if Mr. Robot's going to play the villain. I'm down with that.
Now, what if he's the villain, and when they finally get to his lair, they find him, but he's actually Freddie Mercury because he's still in that role, and it turns out it's Bond versus Freddie Mercury.
I might get up and walk out.
I'd still be okay with that.
I'd be like, why? what is fucking HIV the weapon here? What are we doing?
Oh, damn! Too soon.
It's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill you, Mr. Bond. I mean, I wear a condom, so not really.
No, he does not. No, he does not.
I put a fucking helmet on my soldier, so I mean, I don't know what.
No. Bond goes raw. He barebacks it every time.
That's true. He does.
Yeah, he goes. Well, I pull out, so I don't know what the problem is.
He's shooting blanks is the problem.
Give the old squishy wishy on the chest.
I don't think James Bond could afford all the child support. Remember, he is a civil servant.
That's true.
He on average sleeps with 2 women per film. Mm-hmm. And he's going on his 50th woman coming up. So it's a good number.
Pension only goes so far.
Yeah, he's broke. Let's see. Dayton Shoepox says, anyone else curious about Loki escaping New York? Yeah, that's one of my biggest questions.
Yeah, I want to see where that goes.
Choco Bear MMA, which is probably Dion's secret handle. I'll come back.
You're right.
The MCU when FF and X-Men get rolled in finally. Any thoughts? I like the idea.
If they're smart, that's what they do. Because you sure shit can't bank on Captain Marvel and Black Panther alone.
What did you guys get the new X-Men trailer?
Nope.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I want like the comic book is my favorite X-Men storyline, the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah.
But it's over the course of so many issues, and it goes, deeper than just like a 2-hour movie.
When was the last X-Men movie that came out?
Technically, it was Deadpool 2.
Apocalypse. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, technically, yeah.
But it was X-Men Apocalypse, what, 2017?
Okay, it wasn't that far.
2017. Yeah, because Deadpool was right after. Not right after.
Okay.
The next year.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy X-Men
Nope.
Apocalypse.
Nope, it was not
Glad.
good.
Nope. Glad I didn't pay to see that shit. Even though for free, I was still pissed off.
I somehow got it on Blu-ray. I don't know how I bought that one. I must have got it super cheap.
Never watched it.
Well,
Don't worry, you're not
anytime
missing
you want to
much.
watch it, don't.
I don't. I kind of got tired of the X-Men movies after about the 4th or 5th one. I'm just like, these are not getting better.
Yeah, they do that.
Days of Future Past was really, really good. I
Oh
liked
yeah,
that a
you
lot.
almost said great, and I'd agree with you. I love Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it's fucking.
That's how you do
fantastic.
time travel in a comic book movie.
Yes. That
I really
awesome.
enjoyed that time travel because, dude, I thought the payoff ending where you got to see all the old cast.
Yeah, man.
I left a lot happier in that movie than I thought I would. I was just
Listen,
like, oh shit.
Professor Patrick Stewart, Professor X saying, "What do you remember?" was I nutted in my fucking. I was like, yes, fucking yes, and even seeing like the way that Sentinels should have been from the jump was what was fucking awesome. Not that bullshit from X-Men 3. Actually seeing Sentinels murdering motherfuckers was awesome. So that was how you did it.
I want more X-Men to be like that good.
Yes, please. Fucking get the motherfucker who did Days of Future Past. Let him do rest of X-Men. Let him do the fucking Fantastic Four reboot. Fuck.
Whoa, wait. You want Bryan Singer?
Well, I mean, I'll make some sacrifices.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Bryan Singer directed Days of Future Past, right?
You know what? No, I think you're right, dude. I think it was Bryan Singer. So he might be off limits. Pretty sure he's off limits.
It was.
It was Bryan Singer.
It was.
Russo's tag in.
Yeah. I think they got lucky on that movie, honestly.
Future Past?
Yeah. Because I didn't like First Class.
You shouldn't have. That was a fucking terrible movie.
Can you believe X-Men Days of Future Past was 5 years ago already?
That's fucking nuts, dude. God damn. Talk about retconning and ruining your own timeline. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, hopefully Marvel doesn't follow the same suit. Well, I mean, Disney bought them now,
give them time. It'll happen.
Well, it's not 20th Century Fox anymore, so
yeah, it's
might not
21st
be-
century Disney.
ugh.
Stupid people are still stupid.
Gross.
Yep. Flip over a fucking TIE fighter, you assholes.
Deranged Lunatic says, other than Iron Man, who else died? Black Widow.
Everybody, all
Black-
of them. They're
yeah.
all gone now.
Aunt May, she got impaled by a water balloon. I don't know.
Impaled by a water balloon. That's a good one. Impaled by a water balloon.
No, Iron Man died. Black Widow died.
Thanos, I guess, technically died.
Thanos, technically. Who else passed away in the movie? That's it.
Yeah, that was really it.
Agent Carter's still dead.
Yeah. Anybody that was like perma-dead before the snap or anybody that was dead before the snap is perma-dead.
Yeah, like Nebula, or not Nebula, what's her
Gamora.
face? Gamora. They brought a
Gamora.
different Gamora from a different timeline in. But
Yeah.
she didn't go off with the Guardians, did she?
No,
She wasn't on the ship.
because she wasn't on the ship, and they show because at the end when they're doing the funeral, like all the Guardians are at the Stark funeral except her, because I think she was part of the crew that got dusted when Tony dusted all of Thanos and his people. And
No, I think
they showed
Nebula there. Nebula was there, yeah.
Yeah, Nebula was there, and they showed Quill on the ship trying to search for Gamora on the screen.
No, I don't think she died because I don't think they'd have her save Quill and then fucking die, get dusted.
But it's not the right timeline, Gamora.
Right, but at that point she's helping them. Again, I'm just saying, it'd be weird to have her save Quill and then have her come back and help 2019 Nebula and then fucking dissipate with the rest.
She didn't really save Quill though. She beat his ass.
Yeah, she kicked him in the ball
twice.
She shot the dude that was gonna stab his ass. So
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Tim Riggs says, "Good night, gents. Too whiskeyed up, gotta crash."
It happens. These things happen.
It sounds like a good time.
You should be drinking tequila instead, buddy.
I mean, Nick's always looking out for your best interest. All of our listeners' best interest. That's the kind of guy Big Rig Nick Utam is.
That's true. That's true.
Big in the rig, big in the heart.
That's what I have written
Damn.
on the back of my truck.
That should be written on the shirt that we make of Nick Utam.
God, I should get a trucker hat with that written on it.
Big in the rig, big in the heart.
Yeah, I would gladly wear it. I wouldn't give a shit.
Fair enough. We'll have one of our listeners who's a doctor. Like, you might want to get that checked out. Dion's like, I ain't got an enlarged prostate. Let me tell you why.
Oh God.
And then Dion gets us kicked out. Luchador 1764 says Endgame had super gay undertones. Think about it.
Look that shit up. Jamie, can you pull that up? You ever do DDMT?
Oh,
You're the video that just came from the car.
I love MMA.
God, I do love the Joe Rogan podcast for the wrong reasons at times.
God, you should watch some clips he did recently with Adam Conover.
Oh, dude, I watched all of those. He smoked that Adam Hates Everything guy.
Oh, he did. I was just kind of like, God damn, dude, I can't watch your show anymore.
I hated that guy anyway. I think his fucking show's trash. And to watch Joe Rogan put him in his place. Oh, did you see that video, Dion?
No, I haven't.
Because they're talking about, Joe Rogan always wants to talk about transitioning athletes.
Yeah.
I was against it.
Yep.
And then this guy goes, well, that's only. And then Joe Rogan talks about studies. And this guy goes, well, that's just really like anecdotal for studies. He goes, but this friend I have who lives it. And I'm just like, motherfucker, that's the definition of anecdotal evidence.
Right.
Like, you are just, you are trash, Adam.
I gotta check that out, dude.
Yeah. Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up.
Young Jamie. Now I got to catch up on mine. I finally caught up on the WrestleMania 3 episode of Shivani's show, Kendo.
Oh, nice.
It was a damn good show.
Yeah, it was. I listened to that on the way to Chicago.
Shivani, when he covers old WWF, is my favorite.
Yeah, I just love Conrad's got better chemistry with Bruce, but just the different dynamic when he's with Shivani, because he's like always like shit talking him and starting stuff with him, and
I honestly
scolding him whenever Shivani says bad words.
I think he has better chemistry with Shivani because, man, he was hilarious in that episode. Man, he gets less serious. Bruce gets kind of angry about stuff, crotchety, if you will. Yeah, anyway, folks, check out Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and What Happened When.
And 83 weeks.
I gave up on 83 weeks.
Yeah, well.
I didn't really give up on. I just haven't. I'm having to catch up.
Yeah, I'm a few weeks behind as well.
But Luchador 1764. I was trying to think of the undertones of the movie. All I can think about are Scarlett Johansson's lips and how pretty they were.
Yeah, they were
nice.
Quite lovely.
Damn nice.
Yeah, this is the best way to end the MCU proper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm satisfied. And the weird part is I'm not even sad that it's over. The ride was good.
Yeah. We got 11 really good years out of it. There was some ups and there's a lot of ups and a few downs, but overall it wasn't bad.
Okay, outside of Captain Marvel, what would you consider the worst MCU flick?
Homecoming.
Ooh, yeah. Tie between Homecoming and Iron Man 2.
Ooh, let's see. Homecoming and probably, I don't know, Thor 2. Thor 2 is pretty damn bad.
Yeah, it was a bad one too.
Yeah, I'll throw Homecoming out there with Iron Man 2 and 3. I don't like Iron Man 3. And it's nothing to do with the Mandarin. I just don't enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't big on those.
Okay, I gotta say that was fucking cool when the little boy from Iron Man 3 showed up at Stark's funeral.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Because it took me a minute to realize who that was.
Yeah,
same. Going like, is that the kid from Iron Man 3? Holy shit!
Oh,
yeah,
is that who the one kid was that was just awkward just standing there?
Yep.
Yeah, the one.
Holy shit!
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because I was like, who the hell is this mope?
Oh yeah, I had no idea. No idea.
It was a very well tied together ending, and I still, man, I can't get over that Captain America ending. Didn't have me in tears, but man, I was just like, yes, Steve got his life.
He did.
I did like that, man. Yeah, that was a nice ending for him.
So I guess if we do have another Avengers team, it'll be Hulk, Black Panther. It'll basically just feel like a more hollow version of the Avengers.
For sure.
Yeah,
because you'll have your money and technology, you'll have your brains, you'll have your warrior, who was in the military, and you'll have some kind of probably
girl
have Thor.
power.
Yeah, you'll have Thor come back.
Yep.
The funny thing is, though, Black Widow never felt like girl power. She just felt like a good character.
Yeah,
She was
see?
well put together.
And that's how you do it properly.
yeah, I was gonna say that's the way you do it. Unless Thor goes off and is, with the Guardians now.
I would love that. That would
I'd
actually
be totally
If that's-
okay with
if,
that.
If that's the way the next Guardians of the Galaxy is, like part 3 is him battling for like leadership amongst the Guardians of the Galaxy, like I want to watch that movie. I will pay money to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Do you think James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2 gets fully completed?
No.
I think it does.
I
Mainly,
think
it's DC. It's DC throwing shots back in there. I think they'll. It may not be good, but they will find a way to get that fucking movie out there.
yeah, he's probably gonna leave and come do Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that's about it.
We'll see if Guardians 3 is as good as the first two. I still stand by the second one as the best one. I love Guardians.
Yeah, two is
awesome.
damn good.
Two is
Two's
awesome.
damn good.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Some days the first one's my favorite, then other days I'm like, no, 2's better.
I think 2 has a much better emotional ending.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now that's how you pull at heartstrings in a movie. Well, Endgame did it right, but so does Guardians 2 with fucking Yondu and they give him and all that shit.
Yeah.
That was so good. Oh, Michael Rooker. If only he could have come back.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Remember,
Boy.
folks, like they say in Star Wars, no one's ever really gone.
Oh God.
That fucking joke. So is there anything else you guys want to say before we close this episode out? Because it's super fucking late here.
Yeah, I don't have anything, man.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up. I said goodbye to the MCU for the most part because I think that should be it, and I'm content with how it ended.
Yep. Disney, if you want to make more movies, don't. Actually, no. Just make them good.
Just close down shop tomorrow. Just put a big old sign outside of Disneyland that says closed permanently, and just call it a day.
And sell us the rights. Excuse me, give us the rights to everything. Just sell it to us for $1, and then World Class Bullshitters will own Disney in perpetuity.
Yeah.
And guys, how does it feel to have enough money to buy a small country?
I can dig it, bruh.
Yeah, as long as we don't Shivani it.
Well, we're not going to look at guys with Disney's $1 trillion we have. We're going to go buy like Barbados or something and turn it into like WCBS headquarters. We're going to get like the world's best internet speeds, and we're pretty much set.
And
Bring your family.
We'll be on the beach earning 20%.
Yeah, dude, we'll invest half that money. People are like, what are you going to do with all the money? Make more?
Yeah, that's what you do.
We are the economy. People would be begging, like, could you please tell more stories in the rich Disney history? Sure, we'll rip off other shit and make it.
With $1 trillion, I think we could buy the entire Caribbean.
Ooh,
I don't want to get greedy.
I don't know. It is on sale.
I don't want to get pirated. That's a good way to end the show. So, folks, we'll be back next time with more here on the channel. Like I said, we had like 1,000 new subscribers in the last 2 days. So, welcome to everybody that's joined us here on the channel. And check out our videos. They've been kicking ass, guys. Today's Captain Marvel underperformance video has almost 90,000 views in 13 hours. So,
nice.
Not bad.
88K. Yeah. Truth of the matter is, they wanted Captain Marvel to pull in 450 million domestically. It's only at 401, so it did underperform according to those projections. So, guys, I'll be back. Oh God, I should have done 1,000 thumbs up for Good Morning Pop Culture, but I didn't. So, sorry.
Probably a good thing you didn't.
Yeah, I'm tired as shit, as you can tell. Yeah. And we had Good Morning Pop Culture on Wednesday, so I'm a man of my word. So, guys, thank you to everybody. We'll be back next time with more. And as always, be excellent to each other, and rest in peace, Iron Man. We hardly knew ye.
Rip.
Doc.